I draft the Patriots defense every year.
They cause turnovers, man, and then they don't give up points.
I mean, they do give up points.
Not
because they've got Brady to make up whatever they give up.
Here's the thing:
but they commit so many turnovers, man. I take them every year.
Like a top 3 scoring defense every year, but I just
don't
trust them fantasy wise.
So this was my team last week. So Brady did good, Lynch did good, Barkley did good. Pretty much all my receivers did good. I started Eifert this week. He didn't do bad before he fucking broke his ankle. Fucking Phillies kicker killed it. Solid 10 points from the Patriots. I benched Bortles, and I fucking benched Jared Cook, the Raiders fucking tight end, because I thought, against the Rams, they've been hard on tight ends this year. Yeah. Eifert's the way to go, and fucking scores 27 points.
Yeah, no, this was my team. So I started Wentz, then I had Hunt, then I put James White, Hopkins, Shepard. I put Josh Gordon in, and I was like, God damn it, that sucked.
Sterling Shepard's a stud. He helped me fucking win my league a couple years ago.
I finished last in my league like all the time because I end up like drafting people and then they never do anything, so I have to just rebuild my whole team
from the fucking waiver wire.
Yeah.
The last 3 years in a row, I've pretty much drafted the same team every year, and I've been in the top 5 every year.
I always, this is the first year in probably like the past 4 years I have not got Antonio Brown, and it was very sad for me.
I took Barkley as my first overall pick.
I took David Johnson in one league, and then I went Kareem Hunt in the other.
That's not a bad choice.
And I was like, I'm not going Le'Veon Bell because I told myself, I was like, he's not coming.
Okay, so a couple years ago, I won my fantasy league. It was $1,500. That's what I won.
Nice.
My first two, I was the second overall pick. My first 2 choices were Le'Veon Bell and Tom Brady, but they were both suspended for the first 4 and 5 games. Nobody wanted them because they were suspended.
Yeah.
Fuck them, and then I won the league. So I was really sad I didn't get Le'Veon, but now I'm not sad.
Yeah. Because
he's not coming back till week 7, and that might change.
Yeah, I would assume that's changing.
I really hope New England makes a run and tries to give him his money that he wants.
I mean, we have good running backs with Sonny, but I want some.
Man, I
want some defensive players. I need a pass rusher.
Yeah. I just don't trust Sonny. I just don't.
He's small.
Well, and it's not even that he's small. It's just worried about him fucking getting hurt over and over again,
I wish we would have kept Blunt.
Me too.
I love LeGarrette Blunt.
That's man. I have him. He's my keeper pick.
I almost picked him up, and I was like,
he's not doing shit this year.
Yeah, they do. They do committee. And they have Stafford, and like that's their whole offense with Golden Tate. So,
right.
Yeah, they're not going to do much in the run game.
Yeah,
I love LeGarrette Blunt.
I've got a nice LeGarrette Blunt fucking Patriots jersey sitting in my kitchen right now. It's the Road to the Super Bowl one. Got it for $40.
That's a good deal. Where'd you get that?
From the Patriots website.
I need to go to the Patriots website.
You do.
I do.
It's one of the nice Nike ones too.
Oh, that's nice. He did say it was nice though, so that's probably why it's nice.
It's nice.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Welcome to Blaine's podcast.
I like sports ball.
I really hope Tom Brady scores a hoop.
I fucking hate you.
As long as it's 40 love by the end of this weekend.
Right. Point set match.
Checkmate.
He's going for that albatross.
I'd put him in the sharpshooter, honestly.
King me.
K-checkers.
Mm.
The pain.
Ball sacks.
You guys live now?
You guys ready? Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
I have really mediocre topics today. Just FYI.
I think I got a good one.
I hope you have one.
I actually think I got a few. They might have been stolen from the Joe Rogan podcast.
That's alright. I steal 90% of what comes out of my mouth from Rogan's podcast, so...
It's a fantastic podcast.
It's a fucking fantastic podcast.
We'll talk about this.
Yeah.
Alright, we are going to record now.
Yee!
Journey into comics, or entertainment, or news.
Foodies watching movies, adult
bucks. Matt talks about Pokemon Go.
Nope.
No.
No. No. No. Now, he didn't say, let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
That's something that I'm going to enjoy talking about, so I hope that's something that you actually bring up.
I'll bring it up right now. Anyway.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's episode 57, Podcastrophe. I'm your host, Dick. What's up, Tyler?
Hey.
And returning after quite a while, Mr. Matt Wilcox.
One of my favorite guests on the show ever.
Hola, mis amigos.
How you doing?
All
What are
right.
you doing in town? I didn't even know you were in town.
Yeah,
You're just like, hey, I can do a show tonight. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
well, I saw your thing. I was talking to Scott.
That's kind of how it went last time, too.
Honestly, yeah.
I just kind of answered the call, you know. That's my plan.
He's a lurker.
Well, last time, wait,
He's lurking.
wasn't
When's
last
he
time?
gonna fucking say?
Okay, so last time you were technically on the show, it was Fool's Week, and we were.
I was the host.
Yeah,
Yes.
you were the host of Podcastrophe.
Yeah. I'm your normal host anyway. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Fucking normie.
Yeah, get your stuff together, boy.
So.
You know, normally you start the show by asking me how I'm doing and how my week's going.
Hey Tyler.
And
how
I'm
you doing?
no. I don't want you to ask me, because you ask me every week, and I always give like the same like blasé response, like,
Good work.
"Oh, my life's really busy," and
Excellent verbiage.
thank you. I was a verb once, but I was gonna ask you how you were doing, but then you started to patronize me when I said you always ask me how my week's going. So now I'm not going to, because I don't care anymore.
Yeah, fuck you.
What have you been up to, Matt?
It's
been a while.
I've just been living life, you know.
How's life out in the fucking great blue yonder?
Chicago sucks.
So you're back in Chicago.
I've lived in Chicago for a while. I was going up to Minnesota for a bit.
That was
Okay.
the last time I spoke to you.
Yeah.
And then I came back from Minnesota after about a month and a half because I was like, dude, living in a hotel's awful.
Oh, it is awful. It's
Yeah.
fucking awful.
And I was having a little bit of health problems because for those of you that don't know, I'm epileptic. So I was having a little bit of health issues, so moved back to Chicago and was with the wife. That way I had at least somebody to take care of me if I had an episode.
Right.
Been kind of just doing my thing up in Chicago. That's really about it. Currently, me and the wife are thinking about moving back to Lafayette.
Yeah.
Like, soon-ish.
Terrible decision.
Well, it's again...
God, I hate this place.
You do. Until you go to someplace much worse, like
yeah,
Chicago.
but there's places better.
There is. But...
This is like a home base. They're regrouping.
Exactly.
Okay, if you're gonna use this dump to springboard off, like, into prosperity, I totally support you, my man.
Like, basically this is, like you said, it's a regroup. Because I've been having, again, some issues with my health. And it's come back, get that shit in order, and then maybe go to Indy. That way it puts us kind of in between where both of our families are at. Because she's from southern Indiana.
Indy's not terrible in the right spots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're looking probably suburbs.
Yeah, if you hit the outskirts, like Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, Avon.
Well, we're looking at a place I think it's called Greenwood.
Greenwood's not bad.
Yeah, Greenwood's not terrible.
It's kind of small town. I mean,
So.
it's about as small town as you can get in the greater metropolitan fucking Indianapolis area.
Like, comments are getting lit up with Minnesota.
Yeah, I went to Minnesota. People actually talk like that up there.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
And
It's one of my favorite things.
How many bubblers did you hit, pal?
they're absurdly nice. Like, I had the best service in my life at the Best Buy up in Minnesota.
How long did it take them to say goodbye every time you left anything?
Honestly, not that long.
Really?
Yeah.
The Minnesota long goodbye is like famous.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to stay overnight and
I
everything.
never had that issue.
Then you gotta stay for breakfast.
Then you got to stay for breakfast.
Then you gotta stay for lunch.
Have you seen this video?
Yes,
Oh
we've
my-
talked about it on the show.
Oh my god, it's hilarious. There's this video, and it's this guy trying to explain how to be Minnesotan.
I don't think I've seen this video.
There's like
It's
one.
pretty good.
It's like a
I'll
half
have to
hour
check it out
long,
later, yeah.
and at one point they're talking about how to have a conversation with someone on the street. It's like you both face the street, and you are 45-degree angles towards each other, but never directly toward each other.
Mhm.
You never make eye contact, but you're extremely polite. You'll never talk over the other person.
Oh, dude, everybody's extremely polite. It's ridiculous. It was uncomfortable how nice people were. And honestly, I was
But specifically
a bit over it, too.
Specifically at the Minnesota Best Buy.
Yeah, man. Like, I went in there, and because I needed a USB to Type-C cable.
Mm-hmm.
I went in there, and the guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, can I help you find something there?" And I'm like, "I'm looking for a Type-C to USB." He's like, "Oh yeah, they're right over here. Let me show you where they are." Get over there.
I like how they use D's instead of T's.
Yeah.
Because they do that.
Yes, they do.
Over there.
Over there. Yeah. So I'm like at the cables, and he's like, "Yeah, you got this one right here, and you can do this with it." And I'm like, I know what I'm doing, man. Like,
Do you remember Kevin?
Which one?
Minnesota guy at Pheasant
Yeah, I
Run?
didn't know that guy. I remember him. Yeah, he got really drunk when we went to see The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
and our
he
friend
invited
Justin-
himself along too.
Yeah, our friend Justin was gonna beat the shit out of him. It was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, he's like, "Oh, hey guys, what are you guys doing?" We were like literally on our way to the cars to go last second
It was opening night.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, Karen, I join?" Yeah, sure, dude.
He didn't get a ticket, which he got a ticket somehow. Then he passed out in the middle of the movie.
No, not even the middle. It was like 15 minutes in.
Was it 15 in?
And he was out the whole movie.
Yeah, he was out the whole movie. Cause
Occasionally he would...
Well, I just remember, like, at the end of it, we looked over at him and he was asleep. And, like, the kids in front of us, like, looked up at him and said, "How the fuck do you fall asleep during that?" And we're just like, "I don't know. It's from Minnesota, I guess."
It's a Minnesota thing.
I guess.
Dude, I remember the one time I made...
what it was.
Yeah, I remember the one time I made fun of his Crocs. You weren't there for that,
I
were
wasn't
you?
there for that.
Oh, so this guy was like mine and our friend Justin's neighbor at Pheasant Run.
Okay.
Our bottom floor neighbor. And he had like the studio, like one room apartment. And one time I just noticed he was wearing Crocs. And I was like, "What the fuck are those?" He's like, "What?" And I was like, "You're wearing Crocs, dude." He's like, "Yeah, my mom and dad got them for me. What's wrong with them?" I'm going pickles right now. That's not Minnesota.
Yeah, it's not Minnesota at all. But hey, it's all right.
It's been a while since I've done Minnesota or made fun of him.
It's alright there, bub. How many times did you get bubbed in one sentence?
Not really. I
Not
don't
too
think
much.
because that's
I
more
was
of a
asking
Wisconsin
that.
thing. That's more of a Wisconsin thing.
Well, here's the thing. Like, where I worked at in Minnesota, there actually wasn't that many people from Minnesota. Like, we had, like, 3 people in our entire office that were born and raised there, and those were the people that had the accent. Everybody else was, like, from fucking San Francisco and shit, and so, like, I didn't experience much, but, like, I went out to a couple bars with a few of these guys, and, yeah, it was weird. One lady brought a fucking pet snake to a bar.
Yeah!
And, like,
That's typical Minnesota
yeah,
right
and
there.
she was like, "Do you want to hold my snake? I'm terrified of snakes." And I'm like, "No, get that fucking thing away from me." And then we got into, like, me and this dude got into this big old religious debate. I was minding my business, and he started, like, going, like, very hateful at people who are religious, and I just said, "Hey, man, like, just..."
There's no need, man.
I'm like, I believe in God. Like, that's all I said. And he just kept, like, ripping into me about it. He was like, "How can you believe in a person that's a literal motherfucker?" And I was just like, "What is your fucking problem, man?"
God is like a motherfucker. How could you believe in him?
And he was like, and I pointed out the thing. I was like, you realize there's no such thing as actual, like, scientific, like, law. Everything is a theory.
Mhm.
Because we don't actually know.
Right.
Like, we have good evidence, but we don't actually know. And he was like, "Yes, you do, because there's the experiments and stuff." And I was like, again, we have evidence. But that's just the law of large numbers. Who's to say it's not fucked up one other time,
Right.
I don't know. I was just like, "Listen, man, like, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. I'm not hating on you for whatever, dude. Like,
Yeah.
You do your thing. I'll do mine." But he just wouldn't drop it. And I had some guy, like, I was driving us to the other bar, and I had this other dude in the back seat, and he just kept going, "Yeah, look out the window." Like, he was so uncomfortable, and I felt terrible for him. But whatever. fuck that other dude.
Hey, look at that window! Look out the window!
Yeah, he was really drunk, but he was just so uncomfortable. He was trying to get us to talk about anything. And we went to go karaoke.
Oh.
And like, by the time I got to karaoke, I was so
Minnesota.
not in the fucking mood to karaoke that I actually just left them. I was like, fuck you guys, you can get an Uber back.
I'm out.
Pretty much. It's almost exactly how it went down.
Sorry you didn't get to karaoke.
I am too. I was going to see an Irish by Goo Goo Dolls.
Nice.
It's one of the go-tos.
Nice.
I'm not a karaoke guy.
I'm a karaoke gay.
I mean, if Blaine and I were out on a fucking night of debauchery and he said, hey, we're gonna go do some karaoke, okay, I'll go. And then if he said, hey, I picked your song out, and I looked up and it was Country Roads by John Denver, how could I resist?
I'm not gonna deny this.
Or fucking
I'm not gonna deny myself
Tiny
this
Dancer
pleasure.
by Elton John, I'm fucking up there.
Dude, I'm pretty much. I love karaoke so much that I might as well be Asian. So like.
Really?
I love it. Like, I don't get to go often because no one else likes to do it. But.
I mean, that's at least you can at least understand why no one else
No, I
likes to do it.
understand, but it just makes me so sad.
Civilized people typically don't like to do it.
I'm not civilized.
Well, like
It's usually like the lower
I'm a Neanderthal.
the lower echelon of society that likes
are you
karaoke.
saying that Asian people are the lower echelon of society? It's 2018. You're a racist.
I didn't say that.
You
I did
bigot!
not.
I'm sorry, I think
You're a Nazi!
You offended me.
But yeah, like for me, part of it, like I don't have so much social anxiety, and I've gotten my overall anxiety issues under control the last couple of years.
Lucky.
But it was tough, and for me, all it was a career change, and getting sleep. Those two things fucking fixed me 90%. I mean, for a while, it was to the point where I couldn't function around other human beings because my anxiety meter was hitting the fucking rev limiter 24 hours a day.
That's where I'm at in Chicago right now. Like, I'm on edge 24/7 whenever I'm like downtown or anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Like, I am ready to fist fight somebody on an instant basis.
Mhm.
Like, I remember in April, we were going to a bar with a friend of mine, and we're all like talking going down the street, and then some guy comes up to us and just says, "You want to say that to my face? We're not fucking talking about it." And then, like, luckily my friend's just like, "Yo, no, we're good, man," and he just kept walking. While me, on the other hand, I'm about to just ground and pound the shit out of this dude, because I got about 45 pounds on him, and I got a beard, so that should do something. Like, this kid's probably in college, like a freshman in college. I'm gonna fuck him up.
I tried to fight a guy once for wearing salmon-colored shorts, so I totally understand, my man. I'm right there. Like, you and I might actually be the same human being.
We might be. We both have beards. We both have Patriots hats on.
Yeah,
Both
Both have
extremely
t-shirts.
handsome men.
Goddamn right we are.
honestly.
Yeah?
Can you hand me my other Corona, please? I even asked nicely.
I didn't even have a beer.
Thank you, my good
Would
sir.
you like a beer?
Sure, why not?
Why, sure, pal.
Would you like a zombie buzz?
I don't care. Just give me something. I'll just drink it.
I also have Pepsi if you don't want beer.
Just give me something. I have a water bottle right here, too.
Well, you're gonna get some good, delicious alcoholic beverages.
Alright.
So, yeah, like for me, the karaoke thing, it's like, yeah, I'm out with people that I want, and then the social anxiety that I never have. You get up there on stage and it's like, whoa. I don't feel comfortable up here.
See, my thing is, like, at karaoke, how many people are actually good? None. No one is
but-
good at karaoke.
But my luck, I'm always gonna be at the karaoke bar with that one fucking guy. That one fucking guy that's just up there killing it.
That makes karaoke his life.
Yes, that is just fucking killing it.
Have you ever noticed, like, the chicks who sing country music are, like, they all have the exact same voice?
Yes.
It's always the same generic
Listen, I'm a big-
karaoke.
I like country music, but
I'm not saying
country
anything about
music
country music.
mostly sounds the same from singer to singer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's also the same with almost any genre of music anymore, especially like hip hop and pop music because of so much auto-tune.
Right.
And tempo.
It's
same
90%
tempo.
the computer.
So, I don't know. That's just kind of the. I've really grown away from music the older I get, because to me it sounds all the same.
Well, I think like you really have two options. You can either slightly adapt and evolve with the changing of the music, and like find something new to like, which I've done a little bit. But I just listen to the same shit that I listened to when I was a teenager.
That's
and
what I do.
Now I don't have to worry about it, you know?
Like, I'll listen to a little bit of newer stuff if it's, like, catchy enough, or, like, I'm like, you know what, that sounds pretty good. But for the most part, I listen to the exact same bands I listened to when I was in high school, middle school, and then that's really about it. I listen, of course, to, like, the older stuff, like the 70s, 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Because to me, that's always going to be timeless and classic.
Well, that was one of the things that I was going to bring up on the show tonight. You know, on my way here... Segue. I was just cruising through radio stations. Because normally I have podcasts on in the car, or the truck. But today I was in a hurry. I just wanted to, you know, I didn't want to fucking plug in my aux cord because, you know, that takes too long. So I just put the radio on, and I put 98.7 on instead of any of the other major radio stations.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to sit down and say, this is the best radio station in Lafayette, it would be 98.7 without a doubt. Because they literally play a little bit of everything. You're going to hit every genre every day, and you might hear the same song 5 times, but it's a good fucking song that you hear 5 times, and not shit like 96.5 and 102.9.
That's my biggest problem with, like, up in Chicago. Like, there's plenty of radio stations in Chicago, don't get me wrong. But, like, the major ones, like, I'll be cruising. Like, let's say I'm driving from Chicago to here and I have that station on. Or I went down to Champaign.
Mm-hmm.
Have the stations on. It's literally the same, like, 6 or 7 songs in rotation.
Do you have TuneIn?
I don't.
It's a free app called TuneIn. Almost every radio station in the U.S. you can get with that app. So, like, I use it to listen to a radio station called 98.5 out of Boston Sports Radio. Fucking Felger and Mass, my 2 favorite sportscasters, they're on that station.
I'll have to check that out.
TuneIn. I'll show you what the app looks like.
Doesn't that come stock?
No, that's not the one you're thinking of.
Okay, because back when I had Android, I had like one that was stock.
Oh, it kind of looks like the Immigrant, whatever the fuck that. You know what I'm talking about. It's just a meme.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, it's... Hold on. I accidentally clicked on a notification. It's really nice because, like, if I want to find... Let's try 93.5. I would have to hunt for it because there's a big list of 93.5s.
Can you look up by, like, a radio host?
You might be able to. Give me a radio host.
So, like, just like Bob and Tom, for example.
How about Bob and Tom? I found Bob FM immediately. Yep. Well, you can get their podcasts.
I'm all for their podcast.
Which is, you know...
It should be their show, right?
Yeah.
So...
I mean, Christie Lee's podcast is on here.
Is she hot? I've never actually seen a picture of her.
I mean, she's relatively attractive. Here, I'll just pull it up on my browser.
She seemed... Like, I know she's older, but, like...
Well, I'll tell you this.
She might be a cougar.
If I was Bob or Tom, I would probably go down on her.
I did that.
I mean, and as far as I know, they both have, so... I mean, she's
an older woman, but you know what? She's pretty attractive for an older woman.
That's a full body shot. I mean, she's a relatively attractive gal.
I'd hit that. This is not one of the topics I wanted to bring up, by the way.
Hitting that.
I mean, why wouldn't you, though?
Listen,
Blaine would. I know
like
Blaine
said,
would.
Why wouldn't you? You know why you...
From what I saw, I probably wouldn't.
This is why you should, though. You never know.
Blaine's
But this is why you should.
Listen,
Blaine's always gonna be that guy.
Yeah, I'm the unpopular opinion guy.
I'm going to use this as a segue into one of my topics I was going to bring up. This is why you should. Because you never know when the world's gonna end. Because Yellowstone could erupt like tomorrow.
Yeah, but we're in the safe zone for that.
No, we're not, dude.
Yeah,
Yellowstone is a world killer. It's a super volcano.
No.
Yes.
It's a United States that
it's,
way killer.
No, it's a world killer.
It's a world.
Ash-wise, yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's
That's
a world
what
killer.
we're fucking talking about.
I wouldn't say it's a killer.
We will team up.
Do you know the last
We
time?
will tie our dicks in a knot and
Yeah.
butt fuck you to death.
Yeah.
That's just rude.
Listen.
That's just rude there, pal.
That's just unacceptable.
All right. This is what happened the last time Yellowstone erupted. Ash covered the world.
Ethan says he's got my back.
Ethan, stop it.
We have 2 dicks here, pal.
Well, Ethan's got Blaine's back. We got 3. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But the last time
Oh.
Yellowstone erupted, the world's temperature decreased by 5 degrees Celsius, and we went into an ice
That's
age.
more than 5 degrees Fahrenheit.
The human
folks.
population dropped to about 50 people.
Yeah.
That's a world killer, buddy.
Yeah, they didn't have technology back then. We have stuff to insulate us and whatnot.
Bro,
Temporarily, fucking
Yeah.
crops won't
Do you
grow.
know how
Well,
much-
yeah, okay, I get that.
you
You'll
know how
starve
much that
to death.
ash is gonna be? Like, it's gonna melt everything around it. Here's my thing. If Yellowstone's erupting, I'm assuming we have the science to know it's probably gonna erupt by now.
You would hope, anyway.
Like they're gonna be like, listen, like a month before it erupts, like the shit's gonna blow.
I'm gonna do a lot of blow.
Well, that and I'm driving straight to Yellowstone. You know why? Because I'm not gonna fucking die in the ash. I'm just gonna get fucking blown up.
That's fair.
You're gonna be like that. You remember? You know that movie, 2012.
I haven't seen it.
You
Actually.
wow, I'm the only.
Wait.
2012 with John Cusack.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that one. I was
haven't seen
thinking of San Andreas.
Oh, so you remember that scene where they go to Yellowstone and it's like about to explode, and like there's just the guy just in the radio station just reporting like, or not? He's not even in a radio station. He's just like out with a pair of binoculars and a fucking camping chair, and like he's just like broadcasting the shit out of this.
Yep.
That's gonna be Matt.
Yes.
Nope. I'm just gonna sit there in a fucking like chair
Don't lie. You'd live
playing
tweet.
Pokemon.
You'd live tweet.
Playing Pokemon Go, Ethan.
You'd be playing Pokemon Go.
Actually, I probably wouldn't find.
We
shit
are
out.
Yeah, I was
20
gonna say.
Be like, damn it, there's no
26
picture.
minutes into this. You lose. Good day, sir.
I say good day.
No, like, what would you do if Yellowstone was about to erupt? Like, they told you, like, hey, listen, super volcano's happening. Or, I guess any, like, cataclysmic event where, like, we're dead, doesn't fucking matter.
I'd hop
Well-
in a Subaru. 5-star safety rating.
Well, I don't.
hate you. Fucking hate you.
It's I don't know. It's difficult because I mean, depending on the scenario, like regardless of like the projections, there still is the slim possibility that you would have the ability to live out the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And like for me, I would have to do a lot to make sure that at least my children lived as long as they could. And then, you know, if I was in a position where I was going to die, I would not let my children continue to exist. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Have you guys ever seen The Mist?
No.
I know what you're talking about. That's the one with, he played the Punisher.
Thomas Jane.
Yes.
Little Tom Jane.
Yeah.
So at the end of the movie,
It's the biggest fuck you ending of possibly any movie.
That's what I've heard.
ever.
it's a really powerful scene, and I'm going to
Spoiler
spoil
alert.
it for
Spoiler
you.
alert.
Because it's actually one of the better.
Is that an M. Night Shyamalan movie?
No, it's a Stephen King.
Yeah.
It's one of them too.
So long
Yeah.
story short, the military opens a fucking portal from another dimension, and then fucking creatures start coming out of it and just annihilating the Earth. And fucking Tom Jane, throughout the entire movie, only saves like 4 people, and they drive off into the mist to escape this this grocery store where they were holed up at.
Yeah, they're all trapped in this grocery store, and eventually they get to a vehicle outside because, like, the world is just covered in this, like, dense fog that you
Mhm.
can't see through, and anybody that tries to go through it just gets fucking murdered immediately.
Yeah, because there's all these fucking critters in there.
Yeah.
But it's him, his son, a woman that he met in the grocery store, and 2 other people. Okay? They drive off into the mist. You know, they're not going very fast, they're just constantly moving, so nothing fucking annihilates their vehicle. And the vehicle runs out of gas. And he's got a gun. And he's got enough bullets for everybody but one. So, the woman in the back seat takes his kid and pulls her into his chest. And he shoots the 3 adults and his child because he feels like there's creatures coming towards the vehicle. And 5 minutes later, half an hour later, when the thing that he thought was approaching the vehicle shows up, it's actually military Humvees. So he killed, you know, the people that he saved and his child for no reason. But, you know, if I had to leave and let my family starve to death because I wasn't around anymore, I mean, I think you would be doing the humane thing if you all went together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
But, you know, if you go places, you know, like the coast, if you go to the opposite coast, you're going to be able to survive a lot longer than the people on the west coast.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a very long time. You go to the southern coast, and you might be able to extend that a little bit longer, especially because it's warm. You know, maybe cruise down into South America. Fucking live as long as you can. So, I don't know.
Like, without a doubt, like, this planet's fucked if that happens.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, it'll recover. And I feel... And
not
like
in our life. I mean, not while we're alive
like I said,
as a species.
I feel like our technology has advanced enough that we would be able to protect ourselves somewhat. Like, obviously, crops are going to diminish. There's not going to be shit.
So if the super volcano fucking goes away, or fucking blows its top, who you going to have running the fucking power stations in the United States? Nobody.
Yeah. Well,
electricity goes away?
I just refuse to believe that it's just completely done.
Well, without electricity, our civilization falls.
You have to rebuild as a complete society if your species survives.
Yes.
And, like, I understand what you're saying, but there's also historical evidence that, like pyramids and other kind of Egyptian things are much older than what they thought.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I was getting ready to do.
And those societies could be a lot more advanced than what we originally believed.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the theories is human society has kind of reached this kind of intelligence in the past. Cataclysmic event. We're starting over again.
Yeah.
So who's to say that doesn't happen?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Without question, yeah.
Because I think it's like the Sphinx that they're saying
title.
it's like actually like 4,000 years older than what they originally believed. That's one of the hypotheses from a guy. I think it's from Boston College. I don't know.
I will tell you the guy's name because I think it's Graham Harrell.
I get all my information from Joe Rogan podcast. So
are you getting into some? That's not Graham Harrell. He's a former. He's a quarterback in the NFL. That's not who I'm thinking of. It's Graham something.
But like, not even just necessarily a super
Fingerprints
volcano.
of the Gods is the book that you're referencing.
Is it?
Yeah, and it's by Graham Hancock. So anybody that's has more interest in what we're talking about, look up Graham Hancock's Fingertips of the Gods, and then you'll know everything that we're talking about.
Yeah. But like, it's not even just a super volcano. Who's to say that?
Well, there was a super flood in North America
a
couple thousand years ago that people don't know about because we don't teach. We don't
I
educate.
didn't know about that.
We don't educate people on it. But pretty much everything on the North American continent was wiped out in a couple days. This was way after the dinosaurs. This was after the Ice Age. So Ice Age happens, thaws, super flood in North America, wipes out 90% of the living anything in North America.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And goddamn eagles
Immediate
lived.
Ice Age again, and then after that next thaw is when people happened again. Because during the major flood, everybody moved to the coasts because they could survive.
We lived like Moana.
And then the sea levels rose, so then they moved back inland because they left the inland because they were fucking drowning. So then they go to the coast, and then the sea levels rise, and then oh fuck, we're gonna drown. So then they go back inland. So, yeah, look up Fingerprints of the Gods, and then there's a sequel that he wrote recently.
5 times the fingerprints, 20 times the gods.
Um,
The all-access sequel to Fingerprints of the Gods.
Would it be called like Toenails of the Titans? Right? Would that be a good one?
Magicians of the Gods is the sequel, and that one talks a lot more about the Sphinx, or the Fingerprints of the Gods focuses on the Sphinx a lot, and then Magicians of the Gods talks about Göbekli Tepe. Just anyone?
I actually have never even heard of that.
Nope.
It's a lost civilization that we found that nobody fucking talks about except Joe Rogan because he had Graham Hancock on his show.
Yeah.
But they have these fucking monoliths that we've
What?
never had.
Where at? What region?
I don't remember. I think it was in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Like in the Mediterranean or
I think.
the GNC or something like that.
Well, it makes sense because
I'll tell you,
that's more like the
since we're talking
ancient
about
kind of
it.
civilizations that we generally think of when it comes to
Well,
great science. It's more Mediterranean.
I can't remember what civilization the Greeks spawned from because it all started in like the island of
It's in
Crete.
Turkey.
Okay, yeah, roughly
So
around there.
Eastern Europe.
So that'd be the Aegean Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, somewhere around there.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, but there was like this civilization that, and this is kind of where that we think we got the story of Atlantis from, was like basically a volcano erupted on this island or something, and sank most of the island, or it collapsed into the sea,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when a lot of the people escaped and went to Greece and started forming the Greek civilization that we now learn about today.
I love ancient Greek stuff.
Oh yeah.
Greek mythology is my favorite things. That's why God of War is like some of my favorite video games. Just because I love.
Have you played the new one?
I haven't played the new one yet.
I played the new one, and then
'Cause I
you'll
don't have a
like
PlayStation.
Norse mythology way more than you like Greek mythology.
Listen, bro. Listen.
I'm telling you, bro.
He killed Zeus.
He kind of did that thing.
Yeah, but then he fucking fights more than one of the Norse gods.
He did that in God of War 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this time he's like not vengeful.
Yeah, no, I mean,
No,
I've seen
Now
some of
he's
the-
just
I've
he's
seen
Clint
some of the-
Eastwood in Gran Torino.
I've seen some of the gameplay, and I think it looks amazing.
You were talking to one of the people that I watched Gran Torino
I love
with
Gran Torino.
a lot.
I
Like
love
we
it.
would just be like, hey, okay, this is how it would go.
You want-
Blade.
Yeah.
Either via text, phone call, or MSN Messenger.
Yep.
Blade. Hey Matt, bored.
We'll play Halo.
Wanna play Halo? Okay.
He'd come over, we'd play Halo for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's just like, let's watch a movie.
Let's watch Gran Torino.
Yeah.
We watched it probably like 4 or 5 times that summer.
Yeah.
Skylar and I do that now. Like, hey, I'm bored. Want to watch a movie? Yeah, let's watch Gran Torino.
Multi-team?
Yeah.
I'm bored. Want to play multi-team? Okay.
Yeah, whatever, fuck it. No, but like, any world event, like, fucking meteor comes down, like, cyborgs take over the fucking planet, which, honestly,
That would suck, wouldn't it?
this is what I think we're going
That would
as
be
a
a
human
bad
civilization,
fucking apocalypse.
Oh yeah, they'd basically start a meat farm.
Man. I think eventually humans are going to turn into cyborgs.
I will take a fucking robot arm right now.
Well, this is what I believe.
I'll take Gen 1 robot arm. I'll
Eventually,
take
we're
Gen 10 robot dick.
we're not going to have, like, cell phones anymore. I really don't think that.
No.
I think
Right.
eventually, like,
It's gonna be
everyone's
all
just going to have a tablet at
neural
home
implant.
that's basically your home computer.
Mhm.
And you will have, like, a chip in your forearm that has every bit of your information on it, so you can use that to pay for shit. Then you'll have a headset in constantly, and then either you'll have glasses or contacts for your camera. That's where I think we're headed.
Oh, I think maybe start there, and it'll eventually be neural implant,
It could.
and it's all implanted in us. It's like our eyes. We'll have like special contact lenses or some shit, and it's just like heads up display, pow,
Little cyberpunk action.
shit like that.
So I think eventually we'll get there as a society, and then like we'll get hit with some kind of magnetic polar reversal, and it just fucks like EMPs everything, because like every like 10,000 years or so the
bullshit.
magnetic poles completely go
Yep.
back asswards. So like, we'll be in an airplane one day. We're going down. So.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh, no.
I at least want to get a sword for an arm first. I want a robot arm on one, and I want a sword on the other.
Dude, I want that fucking gun from Black Panther that guy's got.
Yeah. Claw.
Yeah, dude.
Claw.
I call him Gollum. Or King Kong.
Andy Serkis.
Or that guy from 13 going on 30.
Yeah.
That's clearly his best role. Let's be
Right.
real,
I
guys.
mean, yeah. Let's
Andy
just
Serkis was in that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, he was
I
the
didn't-
magazine boss.
Oh my god.
Get your shit together.
Magazine boss.
I never saw that movie. I've seen a little bit of it.
You've seen a lot of dumb fucking movies.
I
and
have.
You haven't seen
And
13
I know.
going on 30.
I mean, okay, you say that you're the one saying I've seen a lot of dumb movies. This guy knows the dumb movies I've
I
seen.
yelled at him for like 3 years in a row because he always would say his favorite movie is The Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher. And I'm like, that is awful. Please.
It's an awful movie,
Get
but
some
it's entertaining.
standards.
It's entertaining, yeah.
I don't believe it is.
I mean, it's more entertaining than Sharknado.
People are just fucking stupid.
Yes.
That's really what that is.
We as a species need to end.
Thank
You know what-
you.
you know what I want? Like, you know what I really want? Like, my ideal utopian society would be just overnight we revert back to like when the fucking Vikings first discovered England.
Like trading goods.
Like that is your existence. You literally only provide what you need and a little bit more for your community. And if you look at me wrong on a Monday, I'm gonna fucking jab an axe into your head on Tuesday. Because I fucking had enough of your shit.
And a night worth of planning.
Yes. Yee.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week. I mean,
Right.
in terms of like society and
Yeah.
like what it should be.
Like right now, like we're part of the way there already. Because like America specifically is so tribal right now. You're either Democratic or you're either a Democrat or a Republican.
I thought you were going to say either a Democrat or a Nazi.
Well, I mean, they're all fucking bad. I mean, the Democrats are Nazis too.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that it's you're either a liberal or you're a piece of shit.
Right.
It seems like anymore.
Yeah.
In terms of labeling, yeah.
But, I mean, we're already there because, like, we as a species have to associate with something that's bigger than ourselves. So that's, you know, part of the reason we have religion. And then now it's politics. It's like, I need to side with these people because I agree with some of the shit that they say. That's
Keyword some.
That's a big tribe.
Like, why are we a species where we have to feel like some belonging? Is it because we're like a self-aware species?
No, I think
It's a primal thing.
I think it's just because
I don't think it's a primal thing because, I mean, if you look at other animals that are like less evolved,
We are social creatures, and we have this innate desire to fit in with others of our.
I guess what I'm more thinking of is like, we as like people need to feel this sense of like we're special.
I think that's just the last 100 years though.
Is it?
I think so because, you know, all three of us in this room never once did we turn the TV on when we were a kid. And if there was a kid on TV, that fucking fictional mom or dad was telling their kid that it was special. The people who were writing that material wrote that shit because their family never told them that they were fucking important. So, we have now had a couple generations of people that their entire life the motto was, you are unique and special, opposed to everyone else. You are different.
Well, I guess like
When a lot of us are not different than everyone else. We were all unique in our own way, but there's a lot of us that just fit into the mold of what people are.
Mhm.
And I think ultimately that it's our number one directive from the moment we fucking open our eyes and take breath for the first time. It's self-preservation. Everything that you do in your life is self-preservation. You are doing something to make sure that you survive every day. Every time you eat, every time you take a drink of water, every time you stop at a stop sign instead of driving right through it, it's all fucking self-preservation. So, if say that I'm a liberal person, well, my self-preservation instinct says, well, these people have the ideals that I do, at least some of them, and if I side with them, if shit goes bad, then I have all of these people helping me self-preservate. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way that it makes sense in my head, because otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Well, to kind of counter your point, it's like the answer of like why do we exist? Like we asked that question since like Aristotle, Socrates, and to me, that's also kind of pointing at well, we're humans. Why do we exist? Why are we any different than any other species on the planet? And a lot of people will point out like, oh, well, we're like a super predator. We have advanced minds and all this other stuff. So we've advanced to a point where we're also self-aware that like we have an existence, but doesn't mean anything.
Orca whales have also done that.
You look at the like Rick and Morty episode where Rick's just constantly just.
I don't watch Rick and Morty.
You need to, because it's actually a really smart show, and he's just like.
I like Dan Harmon. I've just never watched the show.
Rick's just constantly this person that just hates everything because he believes his existence is nothing. He's like, that's useless. So it's like, why do we as a species have the need to feel special? Like, if I were to tell you, like, you were about to be eaten by, like, a bear, would you want to die that way?
Absolutely not.
That in my opinion, would be one of the most miserable deaths that you could ever wish upon someone, is being fucking eaten alive.
Well, then you think about it. Well, then you also think about it, too. Like, we're not fully sustaining something when we get eaten. It's a temporary solution to an impossible problem. And so when we look at it that way, most people will say, I can't be someone's food. I'm too special.
Right.
No, you're not. And it just makes you wonder, where as a human race did we develop this sense of I'm special, which means I'm always right, and just this kind of tribal thinking that you brought up of just like, fuck you, my beliefs are better than yours. We're fucking animals, but yet we're smarter animals.
I think ultimately it's just a big melting pot of all the bullshit that's gone on. I'm just going to say the last 1,000 years. Because shit worked pretty well in every age. I mean, you've had your major civilizations, you've had the rise and fall of major civilizations. At some point in every civilization's fucking existence, they're at where we're at right now. They're at the pinnacle of technology. People are living longer than they ever did before. People are happy. You know, all kinds of shit is fucking happening, and then down the toilet they go, and then they disappear. And I think that's where we're at right now.
We're in the state of descent.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're more in the state of plateau.
I think we're in descent. We're in decline right now.
As a species, I think we're in decline.
As a species and society.
I think we just need to go as a species, personally.
I've said
at least 85%.
He says this every episode.
I've said this a lot, and I mean when I say a lot, I mean a lot.
As of today, we have 57 episodes of him saying
fuck humanity.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing that can happen to the fucking planet Earth is the complete and total annihilation of our species.
We need to elect Bill Burr as president because he's got a solution for this problem.
It would be bad short term for a lot of, or it would be really, really good short term for a lot of things. Populations of animals would explode, then they would control themselves either through attrition or predator populations would then explode, and then it would go back and forth. It would eventually balance out, and then shit would just happen.
Yeah, life. I said this last week.
Jeff Goldblum.
I fucking quoted Jeff Goldblum last week. Life finds a way. Or wait, it's life finds a way.
Well, he says it a couple different ways.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Either way,
life will find a way.
Life will find a way. That's
it's
just how.
True. Like with nature, like everything has a natural predator until you're at the top of the food chain. when we keep introducing species to different areas.
Well, not everything has a natural predator. It depends on the ecosystem.
Well,
Yeah.
For the most part, everything has a natural predator until you're at that top of the food chain.
Right.
And then, for the most part, there's not enough food to sustain a high number of that species, and like it works in a cycle that how it's intended. Whereas like we as humans have introduced new species because they're exotic, they look cool.
Yep.
So and then it fucks everything up.
The barrier, the Channel Islands off the coast of California, in the I want to say late 90s, early 2000s, somebody got the idea that it would be good to put like elk and buffalo and all kinds of shit on these Channel Islands, which has no native life other than fucking sea lions and seafaring birds. Nothing lives on these fucking islands. Okay? So these fucking animals were starving to death, and then they thought it would be a good idea to introduce wolves to control the population once they fucking figured out how to feed them. And then somebody threw a big fit that was an unnatural ecosystem. So somehow they convinced them and said, you know what, this is wrong. This really is wrong.
Napalm.
So they went in and killed them all. They annihilated every living thing on those Channel Islands.
How?
They shot them. They poisoned them. They did all kinds of shit.
I was hoping like to just
Napalm.
They fucking nuked it, bro.
I was hoping they like did fucking bomb runs on the fucking island.
I mean, because
see a fucking AC-130 fly over the top.
old spooky fucking just yeah. But like we tamper with fucking ecosystems so much on a day-to-day basis that if we just disappeared, like overnight, if we were just gone, it would be pretty fucking crazy at first for the animals, because it's like,
Where's that dude that always watches me?
Yeah. Like, I fucking saw him get run over by one of those big things yesterday.
At first, they probably noticed how quiet it is.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you remember that History Channel show that was like Life After Us?
Yes.
Or whatever?
I fucking dug that show.
That was cool shit, because it didn't just go like, oh, yep, here's 1,000 years after us, and it just starts showing shit. No, it documented.
It broke it down.
It broke it down. Oh, here's a day after us. Here's 30 days after us. Here's a year, 5 years, 50 years, and it just went on. It went to like 20,000 years or some shit. It was ridiculous. But no, like the ethics of things aside, I think I'm actually really interested in like what we could do, like the experiments we could do, showing with ecosystems and whatnot, like how we can change ecosystems, what ecosystems work together that normally we wouldn't think work together. No, like I think it's cool that we can do that. Should we do that? That's a different topic.
Well, here's the thing where you were like, should we do that? Maybe, because in the events of like in the future we need to, let's say, move planets.
Yeah.
The study of ecosystems could also lead to the discovery of how to fucking terraform things.
Yeah. What fauna are we gonna bring with us?
Ultimately, I don't think we'll ever leave.
Oh, I don't either.
I think we talked about this the last time that you were on the show.
It might have been. I get philosophical as fuck, guys.
Well, because, you know, I think you and I, and Blaine for that matter, we all agreed that our number one goal should be escaping this fucking atmosphere permanently. I mean, that should be the entire fucking, our species' goal. Like, hey, we've got finite, since the fucking dawn of civilization, we have killed each other for one reason: resources.
Resources, space.
Whatever that resource is.
Like, hey man, I want that woman. No man, that's my woman. Alright, you're dead. Cool, I got all this food too, and look at this. This guy had a badass place. Now it's my badass place. Like, that has been our directive since fucking day one. You know, that's every animal's fucking directive.
Hear that, Mike Norris? I'm coming after you.
Fucking
I want your house.
Procreate and fucking fight over resources. Like, that is our fucking directive. But with, you know, the last 10 episodes or so, I've talked about the space junk orbiting the fucking Earth a lot.
Yeah, we did talk about that last
We
time.
talked about that. I talked about it last week.
Dude, you can't, like, get up in the fucking space anymore.
No!
Because there's so much shit
There's
around
so
it.
much fucking shit.
Ah!
You got like someone like fucking Tesla just shooting fucking cars into space for no goddamn
cars,
reason.
fucking China detonating satellites. They detonated a satellite a couple years ago. All that shit's just fucking flying around the Earth right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, so we all agree that that's what we should do. But like one of the questions, I'm another nice segue from you, Mr. Matt.
Segway.
Like, why are we not utilizing nuclear energy to fucking propel our asses into space? Like, any ideas at all? Because
is it efficient enough?
In the last 10 years, we have made it fucking efficient. We have made it to the point where
it is not as dangerous. Okay, it is as dangerous, but it's not as dangerous.
Not anymore.
Not as much as it.
In terms of as an energy source, it's not as dangerous as people think.
They've made it. They found out a way to use something other than plutonium.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember because I read this article like 9 months ago, and now I don't remember. But with like they've redesigned like the standard for cooling rods.
Yeah.
Like on what they're actually using to cool the material to where they never degrade ever. They don't ever need to be pulled out and serviced. The fucking liquid never needs to be changed. You fucking put your material into this fucking cooling chamber and then it never leaves.
Yeah. Now where are we at on fusion?
And there's no possibility for a meltdown ever because of the actual radioactive material that they're using. If it were to go critical or out of control, however you want to say it, meltdown, it doesn't have the capability to do that. So the biggest reason that a lot of modern scientists say that we haven't fucking ventured very far into space is that we can't propel ourselves fast enough or far enough.
We can't put a payload big enough into space. We can't carry a payload big enough.
You need 1 G. 1 unit of gravity to
I get that shit in my car.
You need 1 G to get from Earth to Mars in about 6 months.
Yeah.
1. So you're telling me that we can't propel 1 G with a unlimited energy supply? Crickets. Because I'm I'm just as confused as you guys are.
Well, from my understanding, it's like we can shoot shit up into space, but it's like there's a weight limit, like a payload.
Well, there's a weight limit to get off of the Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
You periodically shoot shit up into space, and then you have a fucking hub with supplies like the International Space Station, and then you fucking shoot shit from that.
Science.
Like I'm not I'm not
No,
patronizing
I get
you
what
saying
you're saying
that you're dumb, but it's like
You are dumb.
like well yeah, but like at first I was like I agreed with you. It was like yeah, it makes total sense. Like we can only get so much mass off the surface of the planet. This makes total sense. Wait a minute.
Efficiently.
Wait a minute. We've now figured out an unlimited energy supply that everyone is afraid of because of 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl and
shit that happened
Fukushima, which is still leaking, by the way.
Yeah.
I haven't said it in a while. It's still fucking leaking.
Still mutating. Shit. Godzillaing the fuck out of things.
God, I wish Godzilla would fucking come out of there.
I know.
Brian, I wish Godzilla would fucking come out of there and kill Bryan Cranston again.
I'd accept that.
No.
I hate fucking Bryan Cranston.
We
don't need to go down this rabbit hole again.
Matt, you haven't been here for a while.
We talked about Bryan Cranston when he was on!
We discovered it's a real big trigger word for him.
Listen, man, he's Heisenberg.
I fucking hate Bryan Cranston.
It's a great show. But anyway.
So, like...
That's a general
I'm
consensus.
just a big conspiracy theorist, so, like...
Oh, I am too, no doubt.
My thing is just, like, the reason why we don't do this stuff is clearly because it doesn't benefit certain people high up.
Well, that's the reason we don't unite into one people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason we continue to stay segmented and segregated in the United States, and then everywhere else in the world, we want to be separated.
Mm-hmm.
Because being separated keeps the people in power that are in power. When in reality, if we would just unite, those people could just unite with everybody else and stay in power. And then we get the fuck off of this spaceship Earth.
I know, like, I'm a firm believer that we killed JFK.
That who killed JFK?
CIA.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm a believer that we did that. I'm a believer that like Bigfoot existed at one point, but
well, we've proven that he did.
He doesn't anymore.
I mean, Gigantopithecus.
Yeah.
Like.
That was like 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the species that got wiped out in the Great Flood, maybe.
Probably, yeah. But how do you? Oh man, here we go. How do you explain all the sightings in different cultures? Not just. Not just like those rednecks out in Washington. Fucking,
well, it's not just Bigfoot. There's the swamp ape.
The Yeti.
Well, there's the Yeti. Everywhere that there's a mountainous region, but then there's the fucking swamp ape, like in the Gulf Coast area. There's shit in the
it's everywhere.
Like northeast. There's sightings of that kind of shit. Like it's all over.
Yeah, it is.
My thing is with that is like I feel like a lot of it is tricks people's minds play on them because they know the stories. Everybody knows the stories.
Oh yeah.
And you hear one fucking
especially
noise.
now.
Yeah, you hear one noise. That's where your first thought goes to, especially in those areas. Like other conspiracies, like I believe that we have cures for like things like cancer and AIDS.
Oh, absolutely.
Like several major diseases, but
in terms of like what we're saying about like the Bigfoot stuff.
Yeah.
So like this, what I'm about to say might not go anywhere, but I'm gonna say it anyways.
You're sitting. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna remind you, the two people that are sitting on the casting couch right now.
Okay, so
you should always think that something is gonna go somewhere.
I mean,
when Matt
you're
and I
not
are
wrong,
sitting
but
on
what
this
I'm about to
couch.
say, you know me. You both know me.
I struggle words.
I have a tendency to kill conversations,
No,
so
you don't.
we'll be alright.
I love you.
I used to.
don't do that.
You've done better.
Don't do that.
Be better.
Okay, so in psychology in high school, I learned that as our minds have a tendency to, if there's a missing space, we fill it in ourselves.
We fill it in.
So because of this
subconsciously we fill it in.
Yes.
We don't choose what to fill
exactly.
it with.
We fill it in
Maybe
with
that's
things,
what Bigfoot
with
is.
combinations of things that we already know.
Maybe that's what Bigfoot is.
It could be.
Could
It
be.
very well could be.
In terms of modern day.
I think the big thing is that footage from like the 70s that people always point to about the Bigfoot thing.
I was gonna
clearly
God,
fake as fuck.
you and I are the same human being.
We
because
know.
I was gonna bring that up.
Like that's the number one thing of evidence for everybody's Bigfoot stories.
And you think it's fake?
Yes.
Have a conspiracy.
That is a dude in a costume all the way.
I don't know, man.
I have
Like,
just
but
the way that
that's
he
the thing
walks.
that's the thing that you brought up earlier, though. Like, you can't prove that.
That's
you can't
true.
prove that it's fake.
And that's what's fun with conspiracies, because like conspiracy theories are fun because most of the time, most history is boring.
Mhm.
I'll admit it. I loved history
Oh,
in high school and college, but like it's way more fun to
Well, the
like,
history that we get taught is
Yeah.
boring.
it's
The
way
history
more
that
fun
we should learn is not.
to theorize
Yes.
what could have happened, because then you get into like the James Bond type shit. Like there's a really cool series on Netflix called Conspiracies,
Mhm.
and like the first episode they're talking about the death of Hitler, and like, oh, he didn't actually die as a body double that they found, blah 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 blah, and he lives in and he went to Antarctica because the Nazis built a secret society in Antarctica.
There's a lot of evidence that points that he ended up in fucking Peru.
That's what a lot of people say. Peru or Argentina.
Both.
Yeah, anywhere in South America. Pretty much.
There is a. Do me a favor, Blaine. Pull this up for the live stream because I don't want to forget about this. Type in South America.
South America Hitler.
Well, type in South America German city and see what comes up.
Well, they found a bunch of tunnels under Austria.
German town?
Sure.
And they found a bunch of like tunnels under Austria that could hold like 10,000 German soldiers if needed be.
Okay, hold that up. The secret German village in the middle of Argentina. So, okay, this is a legitimate place, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is a city or a town in Argentina that is filled with blonde-haired, blue-eyed, German-speaking people. And the Argentinians that live in this town have halfway assimilated into the culture of this town. But there are people alive in this town that have Like, look at that shit.
Yeah, those are bagpipes.
Well, those are bagpipes, but that's a bad. That's a
I was just saying. I wasn't even saying anything about. Oh, it's Scotland and France.
yeah.
we're past it.
Yeah, but okay, that image at the top, like, that's the fucking town. That's German architecture.
Yeah.
Okay? These are German descended people. This town did not start until, like, shortly before the fall of Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me it's confirmed that a lot of his high-ranking members in the fucking SS and all kinds of places, like Dr. Goebbels.
Well, the ones that didn't come work for us are the Soviets. They, for the most part.
Well, they got the engineers.
Well, we got a lot of shit too.
Right.
We got a lot of people that were like became directors at the Pentagon.
There was a lot of
and all
people
this
that
shit.
were experimenting on fucking Jews that ended up in that town.
Yeah.
No one fucking knows that exists! No one fucking knows.
Apparently, the Telegraph does.
I fucking hate you. Okay, Blaine, if you walked into Subaru tomorrow, how many people could you walk up to and say, "Hey, did you know there was a secret German town in Argentina?" How many people do you know that would say, "Yeah, I know the town's name"?
Tyler, you know I'm a troll.
I know.
You know I'm a troll.
I know. But I'm just trying to hit home my point. Like, no one fucking knows that exists.
Trim your beard.
I did.
Nice.
Thank
Got a
you.
haircut and trim your beard.
Yeah, look at that. I can't make it.
God.
I can't.
I need to get a haircut.
I
It looks
just
like a homeless dude.
See that, folks? That is the art of deflection.
I'm very vain, even though I have an
He is his own worst enemy, folks.
I'm incredibly vain, even though I have an incredible amount of self-loathing. It's a vicious cycle. It gets me every time.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Okay, go on.
This is my own.
Ooh.
So.
This is a fucking grassroots conspiracy theory.
Yes. So like I
That
am.
that all the men in the world are actually women, and all the women
No,
are
I
actually
think
men.
I think you are a cyborg.
You think I'm a cyborg?
I think you are the collective conscious of the world.
What?
You are an AI that is a collective conscious of the world. You are Google uploaded to a conscious.
Is this something that you legitimately believe? Because I
Just
feel
now,
like
I just now came up with
I
it.
feel like this is something
Because
that you legitimately believe.
Several times throughout the history of this podcast, you have said, "Are we the same person?" I think we are the same person.
Is he my conscious in Google?
Because, like, I think
But
you are
yeah.
everyone.
We are legion, for we are many.
Yes. That's my theory, and you know.
I thought. Okay, wait a minute. Time out, real quick. I thought you were legitimately gonna hit us with a good
Yeah,
theory.
so did I.
Absolutely not.
I'm a bit disappointed to be honest.
I'm normally pretty disappointed with Blaine, but today I'm especially disappointed.
But I mean, it's
But I'm
just goes to show
also
you.
flattered because if I'm a cyborg, that's pretty cool.
I mean, you might not even know it. You might be like fucking Sam Worthington in Terminator Salvation. Terrible movie.
Fucking fantastic movie. Fight
I loved
me.
it.
Changed my mind.
I loved it. Matt knows. I love that movie.
Listen, I
but
enjoyed
it is a terrible
but it's
movie.
not that great.
The concept was fantastic.
It is a cool concept.
Christian
cool
Bale ruined the movie. Like
Yeah.
Christian Bale ruins everything.
Yeah.
Like
no,
Batman.
I agree with that.
Ooh,
Listen, he didn't play Batman.
no.
Let's be real.
No, he played Batman.
No, he played a guy who thought he was Batman, but just had terrible,
I played Batman.
terrible sore throat issues.
Get your finger out of my butt.
Like, let's be real.
I'm Batman.
Let's
This
not
is
go
this
down
is
the
what
bus
ruined.
road.
Like, I love Batman Begins.
We were
It's
doing
honestly
so
probably
well.
my favorite of
God, it's so awful.
Batman Begins.
It's so
I'm talking
awful.
of the trilogy.
They're all... Well, I like the third one. I didn't like the other two.
This is like the Dark Knight's good, but I think it's overrated.
Mhm.
And the reason why
Thank you for
everybody's
saying
just
that.
like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing," because Heath Ledger died. Like, was he good in the movie?
Honestly,
Yes.
that movie
was
got
okay.
so much hype because of that.
Exactly.
And
then
I'll admit
the
it,
reason
but-
why The Dark Knight Rises had so much hype is because of this is the movie after Heath Ledger died.
I'm Bane.
But like Tom Hardy, I love Tom Hardy.
Tom
He's my
Hardy's
favorite
amazing.
actor in
That's
Hollywood
my
right now.
best Bane impersonation.
But what ruined it for me was, all right, so Bane beats the shit out of Batman, breaks his back. Cool.
He does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Brandon
just
Stone, if you're watching, Skype in with your Bane impression.
He does a really good Bane impression.
I'm gonna pull up Skype right now just in case.
And then when Batman gets back to the city and he fights Bane again, he uses the exact same strategy that got his ass whooped.
He is online.
So like, why in the fuck would Bane just not beat the shit out of Batman again?
Right.
Because Bane's supposed to be a super soldier, like he's trained in Spanish military tactics. That's his character.
Yeah. I'm really glad they didn't use Luchador Bane, because I wouldn't have watched it if they did.
Dude, they should have got freaking Javier Bardem to play Bane.
I wouldn't have watched the movie if it wasn't for Tom Hardy. So
I love Tom Hardy, but again, if they would have got Javier Bardem, I love Javier Bardem. He's a fantastic actor. He's Spanish. He was in James Bond Skyfall. So.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd have been a great Bane. So.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tyler. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I don't know about Bane.
I loved him in Skyfall. Just
Yes.
like Bane.
He would have been the actual comic book character.
He was such a cool villain.
Like
in Skyfall.
Tom Hardy brought an intimidating factor. Yeah, he's big and stuff, but like he wasn't the actual character.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. Just like Christian Bale wasn't actually Batman.
No, he was Batman. If you ask people, he's the best Batman ever.
Absolutely
No.
not.
No.
Who's a better Batman? Val Kilmer. Ben Affleck.
No, it's
Ben
definitely the Clunes, man.
I'm with Ben Affleck.
Batfleck is the best Batman we've ever had. Val Kilmer is a good
Which
number
is
two.
hilarious because going into...
Everybody thought he was gonna be shit.
Oh, everyone did.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone did.
Everybody was like...
Geely!
Everybody was like... Daredevil!
Like, based off what Ben Affleck had to work with, off of his, like, the shitty scripts he got, like, he was the best Batman by far. Like, the best Bruce Wayne.
Well,
yeah.
Well...
Of what you get to see with his Bruce.
It's
didn't
tough.
Get to see much Bruce.
It's tough for me because, like, every generation of Batman that we've had, and anyone that's listened to the show for a long time has heard me go into this rant before. Like, I have judged every Batman thus far with an open mind. So, Val Kilmer, up until Ben Affleck, was my favorite Batman because I thought he was a fantastic, I'm better than you Bruce Wayne, but still being, like, suave at the same time.
I'd agree with that.
But he was a really, really good Batman and a decent Bruce Wayne. And then, like, Clooney was only Bruce Wayne, terrible Batman.
Yeah.
I think Ben Affleck is the culmination of this is the best that we're going to get from Bruce Wayne and the best that we're going to get from Batman.
Well, this is why I say it's the best Bruce Wayne we've had also. Because in the scenes where he had to be, like, I'm the rich playboy, suave dude, he was. But then, much like in, like, animated series and comics, when he's behind closed doors as Bruce, with just, like, Alfred, he's actually Batman. Because the disguise is actually Bruce Wayne.
Right.
Because he is always Batman.
Yeah, he's got a little, dissociative disorder.
So...
Or he's actually Batman.
That's my secret, Cap.
I'm
always Batman. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
So, like, that's why I say he's the best Bruce Wayne.
Oh, I totally would not disagree with you a bit.
And then, like, as far as, like, Batman, dude, he was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was by far the, like, best comic book version of the Batman we've had. Even though, you know, he's fucking murdering people left and right.
He's fucking using guns and shit.
Like,
he's doing cool stuff.
Like,
he's Punisher Batman.
He was brutal.
He's Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Yeah, he was Dark Knight Returns, which was what he was based off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was an older, more brutal version of Batman.
Yep.
Like, if you had to, like, since he's out, like, I think he's...
Well, he's not officially out. He's
since
just kind of out.
Unofficially out, who would you get to replace him?
Oh, we bring this up over and over again on the show. Because when Nate and I did JIC, we talked about this too.
I'm going John Hamm.
John
Really?
Hamm's a good
I'm going
choice.
John Hamm.
I think John Hamm's a good choice.
Because based off his character on Mad Men, he's going to play Bruce Wayne amazing.
Right.
And then I think, you know, you give him that little bit of time, he's going to bulk up, and I think he could do the Batman thing.
Earlier this week...
Especially the older Batman like Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Earlier this week on Journey in the Comics, Nate was reading an article, and I guess Ryan Gosling was brought up as a younger Batman.
Yeah, him and I talked about that when we did the episode a couple weeks ago, too.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if I'd like Ryan Gosling as a Batman.
I think Ryan Gosling would play a good Nightwing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, if I was going to say Ryan Gosling superhero Nightwing, like, that's, you know, just the way his build and, you know, his physique, like, he wouldn't have to try very hard to be Nightwing. You know what I mean? But I don't think he would be a bad Batman. I mean, he's got quite a bit of acting talent, so.
I'd like to see him, I think, play a villain more.
Yeah.
But then you get like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Like I think
as Mysterio. I'm sorry, Nate, but I'm not excited.
Did you see my comment on Journey? So Journey into Comics posted the pictures for Mysterio, and I just laughed.
Thor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, I don't even want to bother trying to find it. But yeah, like his suit literally looks like it was based off of Thor, and somebody commented like
Thor's new do.
Yeah, Thor's new do. But no, like his suit, like it literally has like the steel mesh. It has like the little circle things that go up his torso, and I was like, what the fuck? That's Thor's get up. And then so someone's like, I think Nate posted like, I want to see what Mysterio's origin is gonna be like. I was like, I bet it was a guy that was like super enamored by Thor, and then he was like, I really hate Spider-Man, so I'm gonna become a super villain, but. Oh man, would it be cool if I wore sword? If I would look like Thor?
Well, like if they do his origin story, it'd probably be pretty cool because
My
he's
sister
basically
had a
just a
stroke
movie
and half of her
special
face doesn't
effect
work.
guy.
I don't know much about Mysterio.
Yeah, Mysterio, he was a movie special effects dude, if I remember right, and like I think Spider-Man interrupted something or cost him like something. Basically, whatever Spider-Man does, you know, because he does that to every fucking villain.
Spider-Man.
Fucks up everyone's life.
I'm really bummed we didn't get the Spoder-Man suit in the Spider-Man game.
But I've said this a dozen times. I'm just gonna ignore Blaine right now. You know, more than a dozen times. I'm not a DC guy. I like the villains. I don't really care for the heroes because they all kind of suck. Except Aquaman, fight me.
Aquaman's awesome.
But like Henry Cavill as Superman with Ben Affleck as Batman. And then you throw in Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, like people that I never would have cast as these roles. Like Cavill actually has the, obviously has the look, but like what little I had seen of Cavill up until Man of Steel, it's like
the Egyptians or Persia or something. What movie is that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where like he had to like stop these like Persian gods. It was awful.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nope.
Basically, that's literally like the only thing I've ever seen him in. Though.
Yeah, I don't know anything before.
Well, he was in.
I love him in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. though.
Yeah, that's good. He's been in a lot of good stuff.
I honestly think
then.
he should be the next James Bond. That's what
There's rumors that he might be.
Well, I think I heard more it's Idris Elba.
I'd like to see.
Yeah, we've been hearing that rumor for years though. I
know.
don't want that.
I'd
I
like
like
to see
Idris
that.
Elba, but I don't want him as Bond.
I want Henry Cavill. I think it'd be amazing. Especially after watching The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Dude, he plays it so perfect.
Oh
Yeah.
But Cavill, it's like he did such a good job in every movie, and like, Justice League, his role was very, very small. Ultimately, he fucking killed it. Still, like he is Superman.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot was the fucking Fast and the Furious girl that died in the 7th movie. Whoops. Or the 6th movie. Thanks. I corrected myself.
In the 38-mile airstrip.
Yes. Yeah. Like.
It might have been longer.
There was her career, and then fucking Wonder Woman, like, and kills it.
Like I think if you look at DC's casting of like who their like heroes and villains have been, it's been spot on. Other than Lex Luthor.
Oh, I don't know. I like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor.
See, I didn't, but here's the thing.
It was a lot better than the one before that.
Kevin Spacey's?
Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking hated Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor.
Well, here's the
I hate Lex
thing.
Luthor in general.
I think Lex can be like the best villain they can ever have. He just has to be played right.
He's Tony Stark if Tony Stark was bad.
And if like if they did it right,
He needs a mustache.
Lex is like you build on like his craziness, and then like he becomes this suave business intimidating guy because that's what his character is.
Right.
If that's what the direction they were going for, all right. But the problem was they just disassociated like their entire audience from their films.
Mm-hmm.
It's so early because they were trying to compete with Avengers instead of let Avengers do their thing, and then they go afterwards. Like I know I've had this conversation with several people so many times, But like, kind of going back to like Ryan Gosling. I know we're way off topic.
No, that's alright.
Like, I'd like to see Ryan Gosling play like a Jason Todd or Red Hood.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like
think that would be really good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Red Hood's one of my favorite characters anyway.
Because he can play a brooding actor or like a brooding character.
Definitely.
And like
that's his thing.
You know, his build is like he can get jacked. So like I think he would be a great Jason Todd Red Hood character.
How do you guys feel about Jason Manganiello as Deathstroke?
I like it.
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Look him up.
Like I saw him obviously in the Justice League post, but what else has he been in?
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike.
Is it True Blood or like the?
I think it was True Blood. Yeah.
True Blood.
I think I remember seeing something about that.
Joe Magnolia. Yeah.
He's Sofia Vergara's husband.
Yeah.
He plays a lot of D&D.
He's a cool dude, man.
His character is Archon the Cruel. Red Dragonborn. Paladin.
Either way, whoever plays.
I like how you just ignore that whole exposition.
Either way, whoever plays Deathstroke,
I was
I'm just glad we're getting an on-screen version of Deathstroke.
You know, the DC Deadpool. I was really disappointed.
Well,
at first.
Is he the DC Deadpool or is
Deadpool? Deadpool is the
Marvel
Deathstroke. I just wanted to trigger somebody because I knew someone was gonna hit the comments like, "No, that is not right." But
fucking aneurysm.
Yeah.
God damn it.
But you know, I was real because I like him as an actor. You know, he's been in a lot of comedies that are pretty good. And
I wish. Sorry to interrupt, but I wish they would have just went with. I mean, they can't. Obviously, they can't since they're not using Grant Gustin for Flash. But I wish they would have used Manu Bennett.
Manu Bennett.
Yeah, Manu Bennett.
Dude, I love him.
He is
like
awesome
Arrowverse.
as Death.
I love him, man.
I've only watched like 2 seasons of Arrow. But
that's pretty much.
So you saw him already.
But the moment that I saw Manu Bennett as fucking Deathstroke, my fucking dick was so hard it was about to pop. Because
that's gross.
He's fucking Crixus.
Crixus, that name sounds familiar.
No one gets that fucking reference.
That sounds familiar.
You guys are.
That sounds familiar though.
You haven't watched fucking Spartacus?
No.
Oh, Spartacus. Okay, I haven't watched it, but I knew it was from Spartacus.
You have fucking Netflix and you haven't watched Spartacus.
I haven't watched it.
Sorry, bro.
There's
You
a lot
fucking
of stuff I haven't
you
watched.
patronize me for not being caught up on Game of Thrones, and you haven't watched one of the greatest fucking series in modern television.
You haven't watched Game of Thrones. You need to get caught up.
I haven't even watched a single episode of Game of Thrones.
Thank you.
Wait, you haven't?
No.
I thought you were a fan of it.
We talked about this last time he was on the show.
Damn, I guess it just shocks me every time.
Andy,
because he likes all my Game of Thrones stuff.
I like like all the memes.
I like Game of Thrones.
I'm sorry, I like the memes, and like I want to get into it, but it's just like I don't want to put the effort in right now.
I like the one that you posted today.
Oh yeah, that's from my memories.
Today's not the day that I'm gonna die.
Oberyn, the day he died.
But yeah, I like the casting they have as Deathstroke. I honestly don't know who I would have cast otherwise, because like.
But that's the thing though, like, with it goes back to what we initially started talking about. Like, I don't know who I would cast as Batman. I don't know who I would replace Henry Cavill or
see, I know who I replace
Hugh Jackman.
Like I said, I replace
that one's gonna be tough.
Ben Affleck with fucking John Hamm.
Yeah, you said that already.
And then
I would give that one a shot.
And then Superman, just because, dude, they look so much alike, him and Henry Cavill, Matt Bomer. Like they honestly look like they're twins separated from birth, except Henry Cavill's a little bit taller. But that can be fixed easy. What I really want to see is a Green Lantern movie, a Jon Stewart Green Lantern movie.
Yes.
With Michael White as Jon Stewart. Michael J. White.
Okay.
Because he's just jacked beyond belief.
Well, we talked about this on JIC.
Bring back Dean Cain.
We talked about this on JIC a couple weeks ago. My vote for Green Lantern was Michael B. Jordan.
I do like Michael B. Jordan a lot too.
But now he's in the running for Superman.
He's in the running for Superman.
Speaking of which, Creed 2. Bam.
Yeah, that trailer was fucking awesome.
The newest trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, where they actually delve more into fucking Drago and his son.
Dude, I cannot.
What's his son's name again? Did they say what his son's name
is? I want to say it starts with like
it's like super Russian and badass.
Yeah, dude. And he's so fucking big.
Yeah, he is.
Dude, he's just like Ivan from fucking Rocky.
I love how we transitioned into this because fucking A, I cannot wait. I loved Creed. I love the Rocky
Creed
movies,
was
except
one
for 5.
Like Rocky 5 is terrible.
Yeah.
With Tommy Morrison. Unfortunately, rest in peace,
Tommy Gunn!
Like, Tommy, dude, was an amazing boxer in real life. Terrible actor.
Oh yeah.
Like, great boxer in real life. So, like, all the Rocky movies are fantastic.
Tommy.
Remember when we watched Rocky and then we're like
the machine
so amped up?
gun.
We watched Rocky in his projector room and we were so amped up and
You
he
guys
lived
jacking off?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
furiously. But
Like,
but after we climaxed, we were just still so jacked up.
You just kept jacking off?
No, he lived literally beside the Delphi football field and
right
track.
by the track.
So we were like, let's go run laps in shadow box.
Yeah, that's what we did.
So they did that.
And but yeah, no, Rocky Balboa is honestly probably my favorite of the Rocky
Mhm.
movies. Loved Rocky Balboa.
Well, 3 I think is the best film
Oh yeah,
out of all of them.
3 is so fucking good. No, I'm thinking 4.
See,
Fucking Eye of the Tiger, Mr. T. Like
see, I don't
that-
really like the Clubber Lane one.
But it sets up everything that makes
It really does.
4 and 6
Yeah.
really good.
No, it does.
I'm so
Like,
glad you skipped 5.
What?
I'm so glad you skipped 5.
Well, yeah,
Like, you don't
I mean,
even mention it.
because 5 is terrible. It's
Yeah,
the one that doesn't
absolutely.
exist. But like,
Rocky 5, wasn't it called like Going Back to the Streets or something like that?
I thought it was just Rocky 5.
Yeah, I thought it was just Rocky 5.
My
thought it
my
was like
original
Rocky 5 Back
VHS
to the
tape of the
Streets.
entire series, it's this cool like double box set that's got each VHS, and it's all like red, white, and blue, and it's cool.
Yeah, I have the DVD box set. I love it.
But like 3, like Rocky's at the fucking height of his game, and that's when Mick dies. What?
Height of his game, but a lot of those were fixed. They were like, or not fixed, but
He was ducking the real opponents.
yeah.
Was that at the height of his game because he was retiring in that movie? Like, the fight with Clubber Lane was actually supposed to be his last fight.
Yes, but he was retiring because he had all the money. You know, that's why the film starts out with him doing the whole Hulk Hogan
Thunderlips.
Thunder Lips.
Oh yeah.
You know, it starts out with that whole
Macho
thing
Man, I don't
because
know why I did that.
because he's fucking doing nothing but raking in cash. Like, he doesn't need to fight anymore. And then fucking Clubber challenges him because he's fucking,
You ducking me, fool!
you ducked me, fool!
Come on, hey woman, you wanna come home with a real man? Again! That's pretty much how it went down.
Yes. So, but like that sets up, you know, we're through the rise. Here's the fall of Rocky, and then he's got all the money and everything, and then whoa, the money starts to go away when he finally retires. You know, so that sets up 4. That's why, because otherwise 4 wouldn't make any sense.
Well, no, because 2, he fights Apollo.
The second time.
Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
Fights him the second time, wins. Apollo retires.
Mhm.
Then Apollo trains him in Rocky 3.
Yep.
Then Apollo wants to make his comeback in 4. Drago kills him. And that's when, like, Rocky's like, I gotta avenge my friend's death.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's, like, the whole premise on why he's fighting Drago.
Right.
Then, like, they were bankrupt. That's the story of Rocky 5. They were bankrupt. They had to move back to the shitty neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah. Then Rocky starts training Tommy and living vicariously through Tommy.
Yep.
And then Rocky Balboa, which
We'll just call it Rocky 6.
yeah,
Be
which is
easy.
still my favorite one.
It's really good.
I love that.
Is Rocky who's
Mason the Dixon line.
Mason the Line Dixon.
I know. I wanted to say it like a dumbass. I did that on purpose.
But like, I loved Rocky Balboa, and then Creed came out, and I was so excited for Creed. 'Cause
I was
like,
not at all.
I was.
Because I'm not a big Michael B. Jordan guy.
See, I love Michael B. Jordan.
Terrible Killmonger. But we'll go on.
That hurts though.
Look,
See, here's my thing.
I'll play Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger right now. Shit, man, like, I'm so ghetto, like, shit, I grew up in Compton.
We had it so hard.
I had it so hard.
You know what it was like?
My daddy dead.
See, the reason why I liked his Killmonger, like, I don't know much about the comics of it. It's like, I'm not a big Marvel comics person.
I'm not even getting at that. I'm just getting at how dumb and over the top his performance was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
His,
I liked it.
His Killmonger is one of the best villains in the MCU, and that just goes to show like how shitty the villains in the MCU have been.
See, I just feel like he was a villain that had actual motive for me.
Right, but he didn't need to be like this. Shit, man, I'm ghetto. I had it hard. We had it hard.
I don't know. I guess
My daddy did.
I live in Chicago, and honestly, that's how it kind of is. Like, that's really
I
kind
used to
of.
live in California.
Like-
So, I mean, I've spent time in Compton. That's not how they act.
Like, I'm just.
Like, people don't act like that.
My experience is different. But I like that. I like Michael B. Jordan, and then I saw Creed, and I fell in love with Michael B. Jordan, and then I saw the trailer for Creed 2, and I was just like,
Dude, Creed 2. So I love those moments in Creed 2 where you actually see Drago, and you see him training with his son, and you see those, like, especially like when they finally get to the fight.
God, Dolph
And
Lundgren looks so bad.
Either way, he's still fucking Dolph Lundgren.
Right.
And you see those exchanges of looks between Rocky and Dolph, and
You think well, theory here. Do you think we'll get a little Dolph Rocky maybe backyard street scuffle?
I think there'll be some pushing and shoving. That's about it.
I think they're gonna get into it at some point.
I
yeah.
think it'll almost be like the end of Rocky 3 when Apollo and Rocky have one more fucking match. Where
Oh Jesus Christ!
where fucking Dolph.
Ding, ding.
I think Dolph would
God,
fucking murder.
That was such a powerful scene though, in fucking Creed,
Mhm.
when he says, "Who won?" He did, and then he just fucking waddles away.
Let's be real.
Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Apollo was a much better boxer than Rocky.
Right.
by far.
You were giving me that look like you had no idea what I was
No,
talking
I know what
about.
you're talking about.
Completely off topic. I finally saw The Last Jedi.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I finally saw The Last Jedi.
I didn't know you hadn't.
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it, man.
Thanks, brother.
He called
And you
me
know what?
brother.
I enjoyed it.
We're the same person.
Good. There's nothing.
There's a lot wrong with it.
Yeah. I'm not saying there's not. Retrospect, obviously, like coming down from the high of seeing it initially.
Just like
Okay.
Infinity War.
I still love Infinity War, but coming down from the high of seeing Last Jedi, I get it. But there's no reason you can't just sit and enjoy a Star Wars film.
The only issue I had with it was the scene with like John Boyega's character and that girl going to that
Rose.
city.
Cantabite. Okay, the Cantabite shit.
That whole
everybody
shit
gets
was
that.
just like useless. Honestly, it seemed.
It was useless, but at the same time,
Like I know it played a major like plot with
It
like
fit with the theme of the
Yeah.
movie, which was learning from failure.
yeah, and I understand that, but it just seemed pointless at the same time. Basically, it just seemed like it was there so they could get this character in there.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They could get his character, and then they could have a finishing shot of a kid with a rebellion ring at the end. Like, that's really the only reason why it seemed like they went there.
God, that Red Room fight though.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
cool. That was
That was
cool.
That's,
so
that's the
cool.
best part of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just all agree that that
Yeah.
is the best part of the whole film. You are the fucking segue man tonight
I know,
because
I did my
Yeah.
best.
you are hitting yet another topic that I was going to bring up tonight.
Same mind.
Simple. We are. Oh, excuse me.
My God.
What, are you okay over there?
Well, I had to reboot, but if and this doesn't have to be super detailed, but each of us, I would like to say, if you were going to make a Star Wars film, or if you were going to wish for a Star Wars film, one and only one, it could be anything, what would it be? Mine's the easy one.
Let me hear yours, because I want to hear an
Yeah,
example.
I want.
first.
Yeah, example of what you're.
Boba Fett.
Oh, okay.
I want a Boba Fett film. I want a good Boba Fett film. I want lots of bounty hunters. I want fucking bounty hunters killing Jedis and Siths. I want fucking cool shit. Because not everybody in the Star Wars universe has to have a lightsaber to be a fucking badass.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
I want to see badass ships, and I want to see, like, ships like the fucking Slave One, or the Houndstooth, or the fucking Falcon. I want to see cool shit. So if you were going to make any Star Wars film, it could be anything, what would it be? Blank.
I got a lot of options, because,
Fucking
like,
roll them out of there.
I mean,
Fucking roll them out of there.
as a person who loves fictional history,
Give us the top 5.
You used to write Star Wars fanfiction.
I used to write Star Wars
We talked
fanfiction.
about that my first fucking day on this show.
Speaking of, like, one of the guys I used to write with, he wrote a book, and I have it. It's upstairs. I wish I had it right now, but Jeremy Spires, what the fuck? Shadow of Eternity, I think is what it's called. It's on Amazon. Check it out.
Is it canon?
No, it's not even a Star Wars book.
Hello?
But anyway, so I have a lot of stuff I could delve into about, like, Star Wars. Like, should we get a Knights of the Old Republic movie? Sure. Should we get a movie about Revan pre Knights of the Old Republic? Pre Knights of the Old Republic.
Just combine them and then...
Like Mandalorian Wars. That'd be cool. I mean, if we want to stick with what's going on right now and my theory of what's gonna happen, so Solo came out. I still have yet to pick it up physically.
Yeah, I haven't bought it yet either.
I just haven't had time to drop by Best Buy or FYE or whatever.
Mobile podcast, let's go.
So you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen Solo.
Okay, there's a cameo at the end.
Like I said, I just now saw...
Don't believe the hype. It's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Listen, I take Star Wars movies for what they are. Honestly, has there been a legitimately, like, amazing Star Wars movie in the past, like, 30 years? 40 years?
Empire Strikes Back.
Return of the Jedi.
Well, I mean, like, the original trilogy was, like, 40 years ago. 30, 40 years ago.
30.
Since then, has there been an amazing Star Wars movie?
Amazing? Absolutely not.
Revenge of the Sith was
I
pretty
enjoyed it.
amazing.
Like, I'm one of the people that like the prequels.
Oh, I did too.
I like them.
My favorite one is actually Phantom Menace. So.
Like, I thought the prequels were great, but are they, like, amazing? Like, no.
If you were...
Force Awakens is just a New Hope with new paint. That's all it is.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It was fan service.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it was.
That's all it needed.
And then, like, The Last Jedi, when everybody was bitching about it, I was
Correction. Rogue One.
Oh, Rogue One?
Rogue One was so good.
See, actually, Rogue One I didn't enjoy that much.
The cast was pretty weak, but the overall story was it needed to be.
I like the story. It just felt like it ran on a little too long for me. And I'm one of those people that normally like movies that run for like 2+ hours.
So I've told this story a lot on any podcast that we've talked about Star Wars, but my wife and I went and saw that together, like fucking opening weekend, and we were sitting there, and I said, man, I'm so excited to see this. 15 minutes into the film, 30 minutes into the film, I look over at her and I say, God, this is fucking awful. I regret coming and seeing this. I regret buying a ticket. 30 minutes into the film, I regret buying a ticket. 30 minutes later, I looked back over at her and I said, this is awesome. Because the beginning of that movie is so slow.
Yeah. I think that's where I felt. Like, the beginning of it, I was just like... And then, like, kind of towards the end of it, it picked up quite a bit for me.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I was starting to enjoy it, especially that final scene with Vader. That was cool.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Vader slaughter.
Yeah. That was by far, honestly, one of the coolest, like, scenes I've ever watched in a movie.
What I thought the coolest part of that movie, besides the Vader scene, obviously, is when you realize just how close in proximity this is to A New Hope.
Yeah.
Like, this is just literally...
It's right before.
Right before, the moment before. Which is... and I had a similar feeling when I played Halo Reach.
I loved Halo
Because
Reach.
you play
Best game in the franchise.
Yes, I agree.
The Fall of Reach is... It's moments before Halo 1.
Unpopular opinion. Noble 6. Best Spartan ever to live. Thank
Noble
you.
6? Dope, man. He's a badass. That final mission is the
How long
coolest
did you survive?
I got to 45 minutes.
God damn.
I had like nothing but Wraith just coming at me at one point.
What difficulty level were you playing on?
I was on Legendary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got just under an hour.
Yeah. I had nothing but Wraith at me at one point, and I was just like, this is where I go.
This is it, Rocky.
This is it!
Yeah, so I mean,
Hillary
like with the last Jedi, like I heard all the people complain about, oh, this isn't Luke's character. This was my opinion about that.
This
This
is
has
Luke
been-
30 years from now.
Yeah, this has been 30 fucking years.
Yeah.
He's seen some shit.
He's seen some shit.
And like they talk about like, I'm gonna just say it because people have fucking seen the movie by this point. Like they're like, he would have never tried to kill Kylo Ren. Like that's a lot of what.
Yeah, he would have.
It's like
He fucking almost succumbed to the dark side in fucking Return of the Jedi.
yeah, like they're saying it just all of Luke's characters. Like Luke has been completely like you just said. He's almost done shit himself. Like he's not perfect. He's a human being. It's not like he lived in the Jedi Order temple.
Yep.
And the
He was the only one!
yeah. Like this
Exactly.
is a dude that taught himself based off Jedi text.
And a ghost.
Yeah. So like
And a fucking green man that had a flip in a swamp. Like, he did everything on his own.
Yep.
So like all these people are like
He's
this
the
isn't-
working man's Jedi. Heritage!
So like all the people that bitched about that, I was just like,
Is that the episode title?
I'm writing it down.
I hope that's what you do, because that was a good one. I just pulled that one off the cuff.
The working
he's
man.
the blue
Working
collar,
man's Jedi!
the blue collar Jedi. Yeah. But like just there's a huge time gap between episode 6 and episode 7. And it's like there's character development that happened in between.
Yeah,
Right.
and people need to understand.
Exactly. So like everybody was like big issue about that. And then like
I mean, even Han's not the same Han that we left by
exactly.
Return of the Jedi. Leia's like, yeah,
She's not the same. She's
not
not
the same, but you don't see much.
She's not as brash. She's a lot more. She's a lot more
She seems more
conservative.
calculated.
She's a lot
She
more
does still have the same
calculated.
personality, but yeah, you're right.
My biggest issue with episode 8 was one scene, and it was where Leia flew through fucking space.
Oh, Super Leia?
Yeah, I thought that was dumb as shit.
But it wasn't. I mean,
It is grounded.
no, and I know it is.
It's grounded, but
Like-
yeah, I agree. It looks stupid.
I know it's grounded, and
Cinematically,
everything,
it looks stupid.
but honestly,
yes,
I think they
the
should have just.
cinematography was terrible.
I think they should have just let her die.
Well, especially now.
Yeah.
That should have been a.
Now
should have been the
that
moment.
Carrie Fisher's gone, they definitely should have.
They had plenty of time between her dying and its release to edit that and make that her exit.
That could have been her send off. Like, honestly, like, what role does she have to play in episode 9?
Die immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Because from what I've been hearing with like reviews and stuff, like episode 7 was Han's movie, then episode 8 is Luke's movie,
Well, episode 8 was
and then it was supposed to be
9 was supposed to be Leia's movie.
But it's like she passed away. Give her a send off that would help with character development for Kylo. Like Kylo didn't pull the trigger, we saw that.
Yep.
And then someone else did right behind him. That could have just sent him over the edge and gave him more reason why he was like, fuck you, Luke, at the end. Because he was just been an angry guy that now he has nobody because he fucking murdered Snoke.
To be fair, he is an angry guy.
Which I don't even believe that like Snoke is dead.
I don't either.
Oh no. I think I don't believe in the fucking red herring that is fucking Snoke. I believe that there is much more to him, and he is not done.
Well, because
We are gonna get more.
Well, the thing is too, like if like because the questions we had coming from episode 7 were who was Rey's parents and who was Snoke. Like where the fuck was he?
Which we're gonna find out whose Rey's parents actually are in episode 9.
Which
That's been confirmed.
I'm about to say they said Rey's parents in episode 8 were just a bunch of fucking junkers. Like that's all they were.
Yeah,
And
I
it's like,
refuse. That's a
that's-
cop out now.
Yeah, that's a cop out, and honestly, that's a real big slap in the face to your fans.
It is.
So I didn't buy that. And then Snoke just gets murdered in front of us, and it's like, wait,
And it's nothing. It's like nothing.
he got chopped in half, and he didn't even sense it? Like, this is a guy who, through fucking space, was able to, like, telepathically link people, and he just fucking lets Kylo kill him without even knowing
No,
it?
but here's the thing.
I don't buy that.
Here's the thing that I do believe. I think that he let Kylo kill him on purpose. I think this is a little bit more Palpatine puppet strings.
Me too. That's what I agree with.
I think
Mixed with some Obi-Wan.
number one, he's not dead.
You strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you could ever imagine.
Well, I don't think he's dead. Number
No,
one.
I don't think he is either.
I think he fucking force transferred himself to another body. Is
Oh,
what I think.
That's straight up Palpatine.
Is what I think.
That's straight up fucking EU Palpatine.
Oh, yeah. And that's perfect material to use for Snoke.
It is.
So why would you not?
Exactly.
So I think he fucking. I'm just gonna hit my old escape pod here and
I'm
fucking.
ghosting like Swayze.
Yeah. But I think that he has masterminded this whole thing to where he has put Kylo in a place of power, and now he has what he has wanted this whole time.
I think
Luke's
it was
gone.
I think it was a test to see if Kylo would do what was necessary.
But if you think about it, like, he wanted to kill Skywalker this whole time. He wanted to eradicate the Jedi Order. He wanted to find where Luke was, not only just to kill Luke, but to destroy the texts. Like, think about it. Like,
she succeeded technically.
no,
Yoda,
she's got him.
She's got the text.
I thought Yoda burned them all down.
No.
At the very end of the movie, you see her push him into a fucking drawer.
Yeah,
Oh.
she fucking got him.
She took him. That's why Yoda was like, "You okay?"
I completely missed that shit.
Yeah. When they get on the Falcon and she closes that little drawer,
Well, Matt, spoiler alert.
they're in there.
No, thank you.
They're-
have
yeah, they're
more-
in there.
you have
Because
more
I would
to
have been
look
like,
forward to.
what the fuck is this shit?
But so the
Continuity,
texts
motherfucker.
are still alive.
Yeah.
Rey has the text, so the Jedi can continue. Luke's gone. That doesn't matter. The
'Cause
text
Because he's
text
coming
is
back
the
as a
important
Force
part.
ghost, bro.
I think he's going to. I hope he does.
Everybody comes back as a Force ghost now.
Leia, Force Ghost.
Eh,
I hope not.
I don't think she's sensitive. She doesn't have enough force sensitivity.
She can fucking teleport through space.
She can teleport.
She is fucking. She
She's-
teleported really slow.
My thing is, like, how did her eyes not
That's like the
suck
slowest instant transmission ever.
It's like
She
Pac-Man.
used like a very
Waka, waka,
weak
waka,
Yes.
form.
waka, waka,
She
waka.
just used like reverse force pull. She force pulled herself towards the fucking thing. That's all she did.
I know. Going back to your previous question of, like, if I could have any movies.
Yes, I wanted you to at least
Yeah.
answer this question before
I
we end
really
this episode.
want a Plagueis Sidious movie.
I was gonna say that. Have you read the book?
No, I haven't.
Read the book.
I have read a good portion of the book.
If you read the, sorry to cut you off, and
No, you're
I'll
right.
let you continue because if you read the book, it makes the prequels tenfold better.
And then obviously watch Clone Wars, and then it also makes the prequels tenfold better.
Like, I would like to see a Plagueis Sidious movie, and then, like, if you wanted to, like, do, like, let's say a Sidious trilogy, give me fucking Sidious taking Darth Maul under his wing, and then Sidious taking Dooku, and that leads me all the way up to
That's all covered in the book.
Revenge of the Sith.
That's all
That'd
covered
be a
in the
super
book.
cool trilogy I would be totally into.
Well, anything Darth Maul, I'm gonna be okay with.
He's cool.
Which is what my pick would have been, which I think is what we're gonna get with the Solo trilogy.
Well, part of the reason I brought this up is because a couple days ago, Disney released a statement that they are backing down the Star Wars train. They are not going to be releasing movies as frequently as they have been in the last couple years.
Yet they're retaining Kathleen Kennedy. Bad move on their part, I think.
I've been saying
Get rid of her.
I have been saying that since episode 7.
Get rid of her. I'm done. I don't want her.
And you and I are two of the people that liked Solo,
I loved Solo.
and we don't fucking want her anymore.
Not to get on that train. I don't want to get on that train. We've discussed it.
Well, I mean,
How into spoilers are you? Like, do you give a fuck?
I don't give a fuck.
End of Solo. We see Darth Maul. He's
see a
still
Darth
alive.
Maul cameo.
I
But-
think
but
I
you
think
know-
I heard about that.
But you know he's still alive because of Rebels.
Yeah.
So if you've watched Rebels,
Well,
if you've watched Clone Wars, you know he's definitely still alive.
Yeah.
yes.
If you've watched Rebels, you definitely know he's still alive until at a certain point in Rebels.
Yes.
So this movie Solo is set before Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
We can easily get essentially this isn't the Solo trilogy. This is the Darth Maul trilogy because, or maybe it is the Solo trilogy because
I think they go hand in hand.
they do because the Darth Maul in the old canon, the old expanded universe, he took over several criminal organizations and
And then he did that in the Clone Wars.
yeah, he did for sure. and that followed the shit. And now that's officially canon nowadays. And so we before Solo even came out, or shortly after, people were like, "Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna do like a Lando movie," and then somebody was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do a Boba Fett movie," and all of this and as soon as I saw the ending of Solo, I was like, it clicks. I was like, yes, they are definitely gonna do these.
It's
movies
all criminal underworld
because you see that cameo and you can't see that cameo without thinking, oh, they're gonna do another movie. They gotta follow this storyline of, okay, what's the next movie going to be, and if it's following Lando, what's the next movie going to be if it's following Boba Fett in those days? Like a younger, like, mid-20s Boba Fett?
Yep. Perfect. And you and I went into, we discussed this at length shortly after the film came out. I think ultimately that's what we're going to get. I think that would make the most sense. The only issue that I see is they've released that statement that they are backing it way down.
That's okay.
So it might be every 5 years that we get a Star Wars movie.
I don't think that'll be the case. I think it'll be about a 2-year.
I think it'll be a 3 because that's what they did with the.
It'll be about 2-3 years. That's the typical movie cycle for sequels and stuff.
Depending on the franchise.
You're right, but 2 to 3 years, that's typical. And
Right.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
This one Star Wars movie a year, I can live with that too. But I think what's best is more time put into it. Focus on quality.
Well, I mean,
they were cranking them out, one a year. Last year we got 2, or this year we got 2 essentially. We got Solo right after Last Jedi.
Right.
And that was a bad move. They should have waited for Solo for Christmas, the typical Star Wars time in this day and age.
Yeah.
But I think we can agree that Kathleen Kennedy needs to go.
Oh, for sure.
That should be
Without question.
That should be priority number one for.
It blew my mind when I found out she was a producer on Jurassic Park. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that should be priority number one for the execs at Disney and Lucasfilm. She needs to go.
Yeah.
Because not only do the fans have a bad taste in their mouth for just the movies, they have a bad taste in their mouth for her now.
Mm-hmm.
So people are consciously deciding to not see these films because she was involved in them. So
I just can't afford to go to the movie theater.
no, I mean I feel you there too, for sure.
R.I.P. Movie Pass.
Yeah, fuck Movie Pass. I was never a customer of you, and I'm glad I wasn't.
Yeah, thanks for clicking my referral link.
Yeah, I clicked it. I clicked it, but I never.
No, I get it. No,
I opened it.
I canceled mine. I think a week ago, and may have been before a week ago. As soon as I found out they were changed, I got a notification saying, "Hey, we're not using PayPal anymore." I was like, "All right, bye." I could have easily just put my fucking card information in and whatever, but I was like, "Nah." I've been looking for an excuse to get rid of you, so bye. Because the last time I tried to use it for the Meg, it wouldn't let me use it. So I said, "Fuck this."
The Meg.
Like the app kept it wouldn't. The service was down, and like I just couldn't use it. Miranda could use hers, but for whatever reason mine was down. So I was pissed. The Meg. Did you see the Meg? Oh, you'd love it.
Probably not.
I think you would. It's actually good Jason Statham, not like.
I'm not a big Jason Statham guy.
You and I used to love Crank though.
Crank's like his only movie I do like.
Okay, that's fair.
Just because it's like ridiculous.
This is.
What was the other? He did another movie that was almost identical to Crank.
Oh man.
Crank was the one where he had to fucking have the electricity to.
No, that's the second Crank. First Crank was like just straight. He had to have adrenaline.
Okay. There was another fucking movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Keep talking about it. I'll find it.
But no,
he did another movie that was almost the identical plot to Crank.
I don't remember. I don't know what movie you're talking about. I might, but
it might have been just called Adrenaline.
But there's Jason Statham does have a few like decent like. He's a good actor. It's an all around good plot. It's all around good movie. Like Homefront. Homefront was a great movie.
The Mechanic was pretty good.
Haven't seen that.
See, I'm not a big fan of just like action movies.
Maybe I'm getting you confused with Justin then. Because
I've never been a big like, yeah, let's just watch like shit with like violence in it.
Yeah.
James Bond.
James Bond normally has
That is the atypical action movie.
But it has like somewhat like the newer ones. I'm not a big fan of the older ones. The newer ones like Skyfall have a plot.
Yeah.
Casino Royale has a bit of a plot.
What'd you think of Spectre?
Ugh.
It seems like they went like every other one was good.
I love Daniel
Quantum
Craig.
Solace is meh.
I love fucking Daniel Craig as.
Quantum got better each time I watched it.
You're right.
I've only seen Spectre once, so maybe it's the same thing.
It's pretty bad.
But like Casino Royale, I absolutely loved.
Mm-hmm.
And then Skyfall, amazing.
Skyfall's so good.
Skyfall.
But like the Bourne
I
movies.
love Skyfall just because of fucking Adele.
Like the Bourne, like Supremacy, Bourne Ultimatum.
I like the
they're
one.
so good.
I like the one with Jeremy Renner too.
I actually haven't seen that one.
Bourne
But I like-
Legacy.
Yeah,
I have
but I
that,
really
that.
like the Bourne Ultimatum, the last
fuck,
one.
you can see it right down there. I got the whole collection right there.
Yeah.
You're the whole collection.
Jason Bourne, that was a good movie. I enjoyed Jason Bourne, the newest one.
I haven't seen that one.
That's when he's old, right? And it starts off with him fighting in like the fucking Middle
Yeah,
East.
he's in Africa, just fucking
Yeah.
bare knuckle boxing shit. Loved it. Fucking
I forgot he was in Ghosts of Mars.
Yeah. Mad.
I like that. No, I'm talking about Jason Statham.
Mad Dane. He was in Ghost of Mars.
Jason Statham was.
No shit. Back to the Meg. It's a movie that's very aware that it's a cheesy action movie.
No, I figured because like seeing the trailer, it seemed that way.
Oh yeah.
But I was just like.
But it's way better than your typical like. Okay, I'm a cheesy action movie because it is aware, and it is one of Jason Statham's better movies in terms of like Jason Statham.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just probably still not gonna give it a whirl.
At least when it comes out, I'd redbox it.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll see.
As long as it's down by Dollar General.
You know, at the red box down there by the Dollar General.
I like to go down there because my husband's fat and lazy. How do you say that?
He has a glandular problem.
What are you guys talking about?
Episode 49. Redbox down by Dollar General.
Okay, so quick topic here. How do you guys feel about the PG-13 Deadpool?
There's a PG-13 Deadpool.
Yeah, it's coming out in theaters. They're re-releasing it.
Christmas.
PG-13.
Deadpool 2.
I mean, I guess for a general audience that makes sense, but like the
I think
whole
it's
point
a
of
Look into
test.
my eyes.
Yeah,
I think it's
the
a
whole
test.
point of
It's
Deadpool
Fucking dumb.
is
I think it's a test,
To
just like Venom.
be mature.
Them turning Venom into a PG-13.
Venom being PG-13 is retarded.
But I think it's a test. They're seeing if they are gonna include Venom into this current Spider-Man universe with Tom Holland.
Nope.
It's got to be PG-13.
Venom isn't reviewing very well, by the way.
I think it looks terrible.
Oh, I think it looks good.
When I
So
look at the
I'm
trailer,
gonna
this looks
quote
awful.
a review that I read today. It was spoiler free. Venom somehow fell through a portal in the early 2000s superhero movies and ended up in 2018. It's like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Fuck yeah.
So, but Tom Hardy's performance is supposedly fantastic.
Because
He
it's
always
Tom
is.
Hardy.
He's fantastic in everything.
No, not just Tom, but his performance as Venom.
Yeah.
So,
And that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
He is excellent. People don't see him. I don't think people see him in the right light just because the characters he plays, but he is an amazing
God, what was
actor.
that one fucking movie?
Dude, you need to see this movie with him where he literally is just him in a car. It's him in a car for like 2 hours, and he's having basically this crisis with his, like, I think it's his wife calls him, and basically
Like
just says,
married?
I'm leaving you.
You know what one of my favorite movies is? Lawless.
I love that movie.
Haven't seen
it.
Well, fuck off.
I have to pee.
Make sure you wipe.
I don't have a vagina. I don't need to wipe.
He has a vagina.
He has a vagina. No. No, you.
No, I've seen Lawless. Lawless is fantastic.
Yeah, I loved that film.
His character's amazing as well, so.
As the fucking Bondurant
Yeah.
brothers.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Lawless, go watch Lawless.
It's a
super
good movie.
Yeah, basically any movie with Tom Hardy in it, I'm like all for. But like as I watched more and more of the trailers for Venom, I was just like, this doesn't look good. Like the plot seems terrible, and it looks like it's got that really annoying humor that Marvel does. That it just really peeves me. That was my other big issue with Star Wars Episode 8. Too much humor.
Oh, yeah.
Like, too much cheesy Marvel humor, I should say. Like, John Boyega gets out of that fucking, like, table thing and hits his head, like, 8 times, and then he falls out. It's just like, come on.
Right.
Like, whatever. Terrible. But yeah, Venom looks very much a miss for me.
I'm optimistic.
I just
Just
don't see how you
because-
have Venom without a Spider-Man origin.
I don't think you need it.
See, I think you do, because like the whole Venom character got his powers because it was attached to Spider-Man, Peter Parker, for so long.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to web sling.
I mean, that's true.
Which so far we don't see.
Right.
Yeah.
So I brought this up a couple weeks ago when we were
that was a
talking.
good point. I actually never noticed that he doesn't.
When we were talking about Venom. So think about this. This film is set in San Francisco, right? Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, and Venom sees a fucking news flash of Spidey doing all that web slingy shit. And then he's an investigative reporter, goes to New York to investigate all the Thanos shit after the fact, fucking runs into Spidey, and the fucking symbiote says, "Peace, I'm out," and fucking goes to Spidey.
See, my thing.
And we get Black Suit Spidey for a little bit of the movie. Tom's like fucking having withdrawals and tweaking.
I guess like.
And then we get Venom back, and he's got the fucking spider in his
like,
chest.
How do you do the like Eddie Brock storyline with that, where he's not a fucking dick? Because like the reason why he hates Peter Parker so much is because Peter Parker cost him his job as an
And because he
investigative
took the
reporter.
suit from him for a while.
So I mean, like, you could do that, but
You don't have to make Eddie Brock hate Peter Parker.
that's
You
the whole.
just have to make Venom hate Spider-Man.
Well, that's the whole essential part of his character, though. The reason why.
That's the whole essential part of the comics and the TV show's character. This is not the same. Because there's never been a Venom without Spider-Man. This is Venom without Spider-Man.
I just wish they would have given us Carnage.
Well, we might get that.
Not in this
Apparently,
one. You can't have Carnage when it's PG-13. I'm sorry.
verbatim, the end credit scene is 10 fire emojis. So there's a really good end credit scene that we're going to get Friday night, by the way. So, be ready to sit there
I don't know.
like we always are.
I just.
Yeah.
The whole like, if you have Carnage, it's not a PG-13 movie. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this: who would you cast as Carnage?
Oh,
Who would you cast
easy.
as Cletus Kasady?
Easy. Guy that plays Ian Gallagher on Shameless.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the first time I've heard that.
That's actually a really good casting.
That is, I'm down for that because he's a redhead.
Mm-hmm.
Redhead. He can play crazy.
Yep.
He can definitely play crazy, both as Ian Gallagher and as fucking Joker.
I would much rather see him play more crazy Ian Gallagher than his Joker.
Obviously. I haven't seen Gotham, so I don't know.
You're the first person I've met that's given it a bad.
Yeah.
Gotham.
Everybody else I
I'm
know
sorry, I'm a
fucking
stickler
loves it.
for do your source material justice. Joker didn't exist until fucking Batman even was around. Like,
Right.
There was no Joker while Bruce Wayne was fucking trying to hook up with girls in middle school. Like, just it wasn't a thing.
Right.
If you go by the Killing Joke, which that's basically the like consistent Joker origin story.
Right.
Which, but speaking of which, Joaquin Phoenix.
Ooh, thank you for
That
bringing
looks
that up.
good.
I think it's gonna
I
be
think it's gonna
fucking
be good.
nasty.
I think it's gonna be a good one, and I hope it's rated R.
Who's directing this again?
I don't
Oh,
know.
fucking look at
actually.
me. I don't
fuck.
know.
I want to say it's Guillermo del Toro.
No.
No?
Hell no.
No, who was it? Oh, man. That's going to bug me.
I don't know. I just look at Joaquin Phoenix, and this is a guy that gets very into his roles. And
It looks like he's lost a bunch of weight.
yeah,
A shit ton of weight.
and that makeup they have, yeah, it's not like exactly like the Joker, but this is like a origin story.
Yeah,
Joker.
it's gonna evolve into the Joker.
Like, that is honestly, that would terrify me. That's like a John Wayne Gacy kind of fucking look.
Mm-hmm. Which is what the Joker's originally,
Yeah.
some
Robert De Niro is cast in this movie.
Yes.
So, like, I really think the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie is going to be good. I'm excited to see what he does with it.
Did you guys see the new poster for the new Hellboy movie?
Yeah, I saw you post it.
It fucking looks badass. Let me pull this up for you here.
It's got the guy that plays fucking...
The sheriff on Stranger
Yeah.
Things.
What's his name?
I don't remember. I'm getting
Director Todd Phillips for Joker.
What has he done? That name is really familiar.
Todd Phillips?
Yeah. Like, what's his filmography?
This comes out in April, by the way.
Due Date, Old School, Hangover, The Hangover 3. War Dogs, Limitless, The Hangover 3.
Really like Bradley Cooper.
Project X, Hangover 2.
I mean, look at that.
That looks awesome.
Like, that is no prosthetics at all, as far as his body. Like, he got that
Like,
fucking
he got jacked for it
yeah.
in the movie. I know that.
Starsky and Hutch.
So he's got a pretty well-known
Road Trip.
filmography. So, that's pretty cool.
Road Trip. Beer Pong. Borat. What?
Yeah, so... I don't know.
School for Scoundrels.
I really think he'll do a good job with that one.
Oh, yeah. I think it'll be good because it'll be different than what we're wanting. Different from what we've seen, not what we're wanting.
Like, if I were Warner Brothers at this point, I'm starting from scratch. Which sounds like what they're doing. Like, they're pretty much abandoning the extended universe, and it sounds like they're doing like their multi-universe worlds thing.
Yeah.
Hold on, I hate to interrupt this, but I have breaking news.
Breaking news.
Toys R Us Incorporated has canceled its bankruptcy option and is looking to make a comeback.
They're trying to pull a Hostess.
Toys R Us bankruptcy auction canceled. Brand may live on after all.
Cool. Glad we got an awesome sale over here.
Oh man, it was terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard it was pretty decent.
It was terrible.
It was decent at first.
No, it was even worse at first.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They didn't... Shit was marked down like 5%.
Yeah, I went in there and all they had was like 5 pop vinyls and a couple video games. And some Incredibles toys.
Incredibles.
You picked them all up, didn't you?
The Incredibles were
I wanted
amazing.
to. I really wanted to pick up those toys
Not
because
an Incredibles guy.
I knew the kids would love it.
Incredibles 2 was awesome.
I love Incredibles 2.
I thought it was fantastic.
I loved how it picked up. We're not getting into this discussion.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the Incredibles.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if I were the Warner Brothers executives, I'm just starting from scratch.
Need to start from scratch, but at the same time, they had their opportunity with Flashpoint.
They do.
And I, for one, really want to see a Jeffrey Dean Morgan Batman.
Yes. I want to see a Jeffrey D. Morgan anything.
I want to see him as Batman. I want that version of Batman. I think there is a reason they put him as Thomas Wayne. There's a reason they picked him to be Thomas Wayne, and I think it's because
cheap.
I mean, he doesn't matter if he's cheap. I mean, he could play that Batman perfectly well.
Well, yeah, because basically all that character is Negan.
He's Negan. That's all they need. And that movie came out before Negan, right?
Yes.
Negan had existed, and they already had him established as a character.
Yeah.
Not in the TV show.
No, he was already cast as a character, but they haven't done any shooting yet, or it hadn't premiered yet.
Yeah, but so
because Negan's been around for 2
yeah.
seasons, right?
Yeah, now.
Yeah, so that's what 3 years ago.
Batman vs Superman.
And Batman vs Superman was 3 years ago. He had already been cast, and they had already shot. So I mean, they knew what they were getting.
And that's awesome.
So
that's I think. I mean, that is what that Batman is, though.
Yeah, no, and I agree.
Flashpoint Batman is Negan with a mask. He's Batman Negan. Negan Man.
He's Negan Man.
That's almost a fucking episode title.
But, like, I would like to see them use the Flashpoint to kind of reset. If they're going to get new actors for these heroes, then there's your opportunity to explain it in the movies.
Mm-hmm. And if they're going to do the fucking multiple universe shit, they might as well include the Arrowverse. They're not going to. That's entirely wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But that would be amazing. Because I'm tired of watching it on TV. I just want to see movies at this point.
The problem with the Arrowverse is just like it's very cheesy.
It depends on what show you're watching.
All of them.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's
because they always have to have these diverse characters. That's the problem. Like Mr. Terrific on Arrow.
Yeah.
Basically, any of the fucking B team on Arrow.
I hated the B team. Like, as soon as they introduced the B team, I was like, I got very fed up with the show.
Like, let's be honest, that's awful. And then, because all Arrow is just Batman disguised as Green Arrow.
But the Arrowverse isn't just Arrow. It's Flash. It's Legends of Tomorrow. It's
and I've
Supergirl, which I have not watched.
And I spoke to you about Flash. Flash is the same episode for 3 seasons. That's all it is. Season 4 was finally fucking something different.
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, season 4 was really good.
Season 4 honestly is my favorite fucking season of The Flash. And like his supporting cast is a lot better, other than like again, like his love interest, Iris. Like Iris annoys the fuck out of me on that show.
She's back and forth with me. Yeah, season 4 was really cool with DeVoe. Like, they introduced a character that wasn't a speedster. They introduced a villain that wasn't a speedster.
Yeah, it's finally a villain that's not, I'm the fastest man on Jedi.
I'm faster than you. And then Barry's like, alright, well, I guess I gotta get as fast as this guy, at least.
And then Supergirl's pretty good.
I haven't watched it. I started watching it and I just stopped.
Yeah. I mean, Supergirl's pretty good, and then Legends is my favorite.
Legends is really good.
I haven't watched any of Black Lightning yet.
Me either. I'm not going to.
But like,
probably not.
Legends is my favorite just because it's literally meant to be a parody.
What is there a Legends like comic series, or is that just
I believe so, but the thing is, like, in the very first episode, they're basically said, listen, you guys are shit, this is why I picked you.
Yeah.
And that's why it's...
You guys kind of suck.
Yeah, like...
And then they introduced they brought Wally West to it, which is
because
awesome.
He was fucking terrible in Flash.
Yeah.
I did not know a single person that was like, yeah, dude, Wally's amazing.
Yeah. I want more Ebert Thawne. I want more Reverse Flash.
Thawne, man. He's even got a song about him. It's called the Thawne song.
Thong.
I want more Thawne. I watched this video. I think it's from like one of the Suicide Squad movies, animated.
I'm not seeing the Suicide Squad.
Don't.
I'm not.
Ever watch that movie. Margot Robbie and Will Smith, amazing performances. Don't watch that movie.
Yeah, no, I don't plan to.
Maybe if you're bored, I don't know.
No.
But no, the Suicide Squad movie. The Suicide Squad, like animated movie, Thawne comes back. This is post Flashpoint animated. Thawne comes back with a fucking bullet still in his head, or a bullet hole still in his head from Flashpoint Batman shooting him in the back of the head.
Bam.
He somehow survived that. He explains how he survived. He's living with a fucking hourglass ticking down. Sand is pouring through that shit, and yeah, it's interesting.
What do you think is we'll go live action. What's the best superhero movie you've ever seen?
Live action?
Yeah.
Ooh, superhero movie live action. Is this? Are we gonna boil this down to overall?
Just in your opinion, like, what do you think is the best one?
Fuck. That's...
To me, I have an easy answer.
What's your answer?
Watchmen.
Watchmen?
Yep.
Interesting. Close that door before this cat comes in.
Oh,
that's Tyler. That's not even a cat. I was looking at the bottom. I didn't...
I love The Watchmen.
Me too.
Like, Zack Snyder did a great job with that movie.
Yeah.
Rorschach for life.
And honestly, his final little twist with Dr. Manhattan being, like, the thing that destroys a city instead of a giant octopus monster like in the comic book is a way better, way better than the comic books.
Have you read Doomsday Clock?
No, I keep watching YouTube videos about it just because I don't have time to read the comic books.
If you have Amazon Prime, you can read some of it for free.
I don't, so sad face, bro.
I tried to help.
Yeah, but like I watch videos about it.
I'm getting ready to get Amazon Prime even cheaper than I pay for it now.
F&A Cotton.
Because I'm a college student now.
Nice.
F&A Cotton.
For the record, Amazon Prime does have like a monthly option rather than the yearly option.
I
If
can't
that
afford
helps.
that monthly option. I'm broke, bitch.
Okay.
I think Blaine and I both understand that life.
I mean, shit. I'm about to buy a house. I bought a house technically.
Well, you kind of did.
I
Kinda.
can't afford a house.
I'm like 0.5 bought a house.
0.5 bought house. Did thing.
You get out of that garage. It's my garage. You can have the living room for now.
Are you gonna be like me and be like fucking
Get off my lawn.
Walt Kowalski and say, "Get off my lawn"? Stack fucks like you 10 high.
Fucking zipper heads. I love how racist that movie was. I don't condone racism,
Fucking
but
slant eye.
I don't condone racism, but fuck, it's funny when you watch it. When you watch Clint Eastwood be racist.
Yeah.
I just like when he drives up the truck to all those people, the black
God,
people.
I would love to get a piece of that little fucking Asian sensation. That fucking is bebopping down the street with his son.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why are you judging
I have
me
no
right
idea
now?
what you're. I have no idea what you're talking about.
The fucking Asian girl that's in the movie.
It's been a long time since I've seen
Yeah,
the
it's
movie.
been a minute.
Like, I mean, the last time I regularly watched the movie was with this guy. Him and I don't hang out.
Likewise.
I'll pull it up.
But
If we were hanging out regularly, we would probably watch it more.
I
Yeah,
find
but-
her incredibly attractive. Okay.
But yeah, like the Watchmen, to me, is the best superhero movie because, like I said, I think it followed like the source material really well, and then actually did it better at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, it's a cast of heroes I never even heard of
Yeah.
before.
Well, the cast of actors that they chose was fantastic. I mean, we
Exactly.
need to say that before
Yeah.
we say anything
Like,
else.
the guy that played
That movie
Osmosis-
would not be as good as it is if they would not have cast those
The
people.
guy that played Amadeus. Oh, dude, he's the perfect villain.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Say Amadeus.
Osmosis.
Ozymandias.
Whatever.
Ozymandias.
Whatever.
But you did say Amadeus.
Yeah.
It's okay. Amadeus.
Whatever.
Anyways. But the guy that played Rorschach fucking made that movie.
Yeah.
He made that movie.
I'd agree.
What would be your favorite superhero? What, like, that was a question, right? Favorite superhero movie?
Yeah, favorite superhero movie, doesn't matter when or what.
Hmm.
You can even say Daredevil with that.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, does it have to be live action?
Yes. I that was the
Yeah,
forever.
it was.
That's your favorite live action superhero movie. Because if we did animated, more than likely mine's gonna probably be The Dark Knight Returns, both part 1 and part 2.
What about Mask of the Phantasm?
See, I've actually never seen that one, and I hear that one's the best.
God, you
Like
are a
Batman.
piece of shit. I don't like you anymore. We're not the same person. Die!
There goes my theory.
No, I mean, like, seriously. I still own my copy of Mask of the Phantasm on VHS.
Now I want to see. I just can't find it online anywhere, like for free. That is.
Well, I was gonna say, like, there was a sale on Amazon a while ago. The movie was like $7.
I can't afford that.
No, I get it. I get it, but it's like, hey man, I have $1. Just took this $1 away. You do that 7 times.
7 whole times.
That's what I mean, seriously, that's what I have to do to buy shit, so.
That's the problem. I never find that $1.
No, I get it, dude. Fucking sell plasma.
If I'm gonna go with animated, I'm probably gonna go with Flashpoint. Flashpoint or
Flashpoint's
All-Star
good.
Superman.
All-Star Superman is great.
But I'm limited to what I've seen on Netflix and Death of Superman, which I watched with you.
I was not a fan of that.
The older one?
I didn't like Death of
See,
Superman.
I like Death Superman a lot, actually.
Up until Henry Cavill, I hated everything Superman. So you gotta understand where I'm coming from. There.
See, Superman's my favorite superhero ever.
I know we talked about this last time, and I shit on it.
Stop it.
What would be my live?
Oh my God, a rock! I'm dead.
What would be my?
I get my power from the sun.
Like, I have a hard time picking live action just because I enjoy a lot of it so much. If I were gonna pick the best one, I'd probably say the first Avengers. Just because it's
set a precedent,
yeah, it set up a precedent. I really enjoyed whatever. I'm not really into Asian chicks.
I am into Asian, so just accept it.
I'm into Miranda. That's what I'm into.
Cool.
But
nice save.
oh yeah.
I say whatever I want.
Maybe Deadpool. I really enjoyed the first Deadpool a lot.
So for me, shit, I don't know, because it's tough. Like, if you wouldn't have said The Watchmen, I would have said The Watchmen.
You can say The Watchmen.
Well, I don't
do that now.
I can't do that. It's a thing. Well,
I mean, I could change mine real quick to Days of Futures Past.
No, because
he'll shit all over that.
I will shit all over it.
I love Days of Futures Past. I thought it did an awesome job resetting that awful trilogy.
But they didn't reset anything.
Well, you gave us Jean and shit back.
Yeah, but Jean is a terrible character. So you made a terrible character still terrible.
I mean,
Good job.
I like Jean.
She's only relevant when she's the fucking Phoenix. It's the only time she's relevant.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you cannot.
The only time she's relevant, Phoenix, or when Logan's trying to bang her because he doesn't like Cyclops.
Well, I
like
mean,
that is the only time she's relevant.
You can say that The Last Stand was a terrible way to end that trilogy.
Absolutely.
And it did a good job of kind of resetting it with that ending scene.
Yeah.
And then it gave us the scene to Apocalypse, which I was super excited for, and then I was very disappointed with. And now we're getting Dark Phoenix.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like Sophie Turner.
You don't like Sophie Turner?
I think she's a terrible Jean Grey.
I liked her as Jean Grey.
I don't think she's I don't think Sophie Turner's a very good actress at all. She's
Same.
mediocre.
Just like that girl from Stranger Things.
Millie.
The most, like, everybody's like, oh my god, she's amazing. I'm like, the most she can do
like
is scream.
Sophie Turner in Game of Thrones is just the same facial expression and crying. Like, that is Sophie Turner.
And that's what it seems like in this trailer.
You haven't watched all of Game of Thrones.
You don't know what I've watched and what I haven't.
The Sansa character gets better, but I kind of see your point. Yeah, facial expressions very limited.
She has pretty much the same facial expression throughout the entire series. Because I've seen, though I haven't watched every episode consecutively, I've watched every major scene from every season in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So
Sophie Turner is Jean Grey.
Terrible.
I enjoyed it in Apocalypse. I was glad they had a Jean Grey in that. It was cool. I think this is gonna be make or break for Sophie Turner, the Dark Phoenix, because that is a huge story for X-Men.
See, I wish they would have, like, in my opinion, Apocalypse should have been, like, last. And it should have been dealt with the older X-Men.
okay, so I've talked about this before when we were talking about Infinity War. Personally, I thought Deadpool 2 was a better movie than Infinity War was. So
I haven't seen either.
we're just going to get that out of the way real quick again because I still stand by that opinion.
Yeah.
When it comes to Apocalypse, I didn't think Oscar Isaac's performance was bad. It could have been better.
Agreed.
But the overall story of Apocalypse, that is your end game for the X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Agreed.
Apocalypse is your Thanos. It is your Galactus. It is your fucking end game. First of all, poor story. Second of all,
Poor execution.
poor execution. Third of all, fucking what's her name? Internet superstar that I shit on 2 weeks ago.
Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn. Are you serious? You are going to fucking highlight Olivia Munn in your endgame film. Why? What has she ever done in her career to deserve that? Nothing. I hate Olivia Munn almost as much as I hate Bryan Cranston.
I can stand by that.
Because it's just awful.
Yeah,
I didn't even really like her on G4.
No, I didn't.
Same here.
She was annoying. So, like, Apocalypse had a lot of things for me to like.
Magneto.
I don't even need to say that. Like, that just goes without
Michael
saying.
Fassbender.
Michael
In
Fassbender.
every fucking X-Men movie.
Oh yeah.
First Class was amazing because of him and
Kevin
McAvoy.
Bacon. And Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon was actually really good in that one too.
Yeah.
I don't like McAvoy.
He does
You
not.
don't like him as Xavier?
No.
He's not.
That is one, in my opinion, that is one of the poorest castings of Xavier you could ever have.
See, I'm a big James McAvoy guy. I like him.
I don't like him.
Are you looking forward to Glass?
Yes.
I am looking forward to Glass.
Yes. I'm looking.
I have not seen Split.
Watch Split.
I'm going to watch
I haven't
Split.
seen either film.
You
I haven't seen Unbreakable or Split, but I'm like,
man,
when I saw the trailer for Glass, I was like, this looks amazing.
I saw Unbreakable in fucking theaters.
Oh wow.
Well, that come out in like 2000, right?
Roughly around
99 or 2000,
Yeah,
right around
Watch
there.
Unbreakable. It's
dry.
It's dry.
It's very dry.
Because that was after the success of Sixth Sense.
Yes.
Right?
It is dry as fuck.
It is very dry.
Split, quite a bit less dry.
Yeah, I heard Split was actually really good.
Split's
I wanted to see it in theaters, but again,
Split is good.
I couldn't afford it.
Right.
And then as soon as you don't even, it's common knowledge now that they're all connected.
Yeah.
But if you watch Split, you're like, and it doesn't even connect it until the very, very, very end.
Yeah.
Like credit roll.
But like
in.
by far, Magneto is like the best part of every X-Men movie.
Oh, definitely.
Like it's
Ian
not
McKellen.
even.
Ian McKellen was fucking awesome.
But
Exactly.
it goes back to what we were saying earlier about Cavill and Hugh Jackman and on and on. Like, Ian McKellen as old Magneto, though a lot of the X-Men movies have been really bad, he has been kind of one of the shining stars of those films.
Same with Patrick Stewart.
Thank you. I was going to say that
Yep.
next. Part of the reason I don't like McAvoy so much is Patrick Stewart is Professor X to me.
Yeah.
McAvoy's performance is not better than Patrick Stewart, and Patrick Stewart didn't do anything.
See, I don't compare the two. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I do. That's part of the reason they're so... that's part of the reason I don't like... McAvoy is a good actor. I'm not going to take that away from him. I do not like most of his performances. I have not seen Split. That's one of his best roles from everything that I hear from everybody. So my opinion might change a little bit on McAvoy after I see Split. But as of right now, he's the guy that was in the movie Wanted with Angelina Jolie.
Ugh.
Thank you. That is what I think. That is what I see when I watch a film with McAvoy in it. Because Wanted was a poor man's fucking Fight Club, is what it was.
I
I
actually
don't
think it was more of a
remember it.
poor man's Matrix.
Imagine Fight Club and Matrix smashed into the same movie. That's Wanted.
But I feel like with that, you can't place the blame on an actor for just a poor movie, because you also got to remember Morgan
Daredevil.
Freeman was in that movie.
Right, but it's fucking Morgan Freeman.
But I mean, that's kind of my point.
You can't. But that's not.
He's in a lot of shitty movies as much as he is in good movies.
Right, but the movies
Like not every movie is a 7.
the movies
with
that
Morgan Freeman.
the movies that he's in though that aren't fucking like Wanted and like Bruce Almighty and shit like that are all fucking 10 out of 10 movies.
I love Bruce Almighty.
Well, and I do too, but fucking Shawshank Redemption. That's all I need to say. Like, he's fucking red. Like, Andy Dufresne would just be getting butt-fucked to death right now in Shawshank if it wasn't for red.
That's my friend Andy.
That's my friend, Andy Dufresne.
He got us those bales on that roof. Never was quite that hot again.
Andy Dufresne. There he is, getting butt-fucked to death again.
by the sisters.
It's a miracle that he survives. I don't know how he does it. Anyway.
What is this March of the Andy Dufresne?
Yes. I'm not a McAvoy guy. That might change. I really liked Quicksilver in, both of them.
Well,
for
that's
that matter.
because he has the best scene, by far.
Well, not just the best scene. I
Most
think.
interesting cinematography.
Yeah, but I also really like the direction. Like, I like that they followed through that Magneto is Quicksilver's father. Like, I like that. Like, that was cool. And, he didn't die like he did in fucking Age of Ultron. So,
That one was terrible.
yeah.
Age of Ultron was awful.
Thank you.
It had its moments.
But
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Days of Futures Past.
I just... Like, Days of Futures Past, for me, would not have been good without Logan.
Oh yeah, no.
If Wolverine was not in that film, it would not have been good.
My biggest issue with the new X-Men movies, though, is the, like, just fucking focus on Mystique all the time.
That's the Jennifer Lawrence fucking hype train.
I know, and I hate it. I don't think she's as good as an actress as everybody says.
I think she's a good actress when it comes to conflict and drama.
I like her as an actress, but I definitely see your points.
Right. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence in Passenger is fantastic. Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique, it's okay.
Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Linings Playbook.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
She did a good job in that movie.
I mean,
love that movie.
She's not fucking Michelle Pfeiffer. Or not, it wasn't Michelle Pfeiffer, it was,
Oh, shit. She's a model.
Yeah. Rebecca Romaine, thank you. I mean, she's no Rebecca Romaine.
It's because she actually has speaking parts.
Right.
Like, Rebecca Romaine had, like, three lines.
Yeah, she had, like,
three lines.
She was there to be just a sexy blue person.
Right. I love my sexy blue people. I'm looking at you, fucking Zoe
I know, but like I said,
fucking Navi.
Like I said, I just like...
There's a porn for that.
Oh, I've watched it. Believe me.
Oh, God.
Oh, real quick. Has anyone here watched Bowsette porn yet?
No.
Watch it.
You heard it here, folks.
Watch you some Bowsette porn. I'm on the fucking Bowsette hype train, okay? But to kind of like get back on track here, if I was gonna pick my favorite superhero film out of all of them,
I have a good number 2 for me.
my number 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy. My number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy is the most entertaining movie that Marvel has put out
I agree
thus
with
far.
that.
My number 1 film, Logan.
I was gonna say that's my number 2.
Without a doubt, it's Logan.
Logan was amazing.
Oh, it was so good.
Logan almost made me cry in theaters.
It did. It did make me cry.
Right when she looked at him and said, "Daddy," I was like, "Oh fuck, dog."
Oh shit.
Well, what really got me was
and then like when they turn his like cross into the X, because he is the X-Men. Like, let's be real.
Especially now. Like
Patrick Stewart did a great job, but let's be real. When you think of X-Men, you think Wolverine.
You think of fucking Hugh Jackman.
Who's been Wolverine for the past 2 decades?
Those first 3 movies.
Huge Jackman
followed the Wolverine character.
Yeah.
Like, he was the central character in all of those movies.
The thing that got me the most, and you and I have talked about it on the show before, was the prophecy.
Yeah,
the vision.
From the Wolverine.
From the Wolverine.
Yukio.
Yes.
Who got recast in Deadpool 2. Oh, hi, Yukio. I love how, like, anytime she was on screen, Deadpool was just like, oh, hey Yukio. Like, just so excited, like, so thrilled that she... Hey, Yukio.
Yeah.
But yeah, the prophecy is like...
See, I haven't seen the Wolverine, the one where he's in Japan.
Oh, come on, man.
What? That was...
I don't watch a lot of, like, Marvel movies, to be honest.
It's
because
fucking
most of them
great.
are just like, eh.
That one was a good one. I mean, and
you don't get a lot of DC movies, so you gotta fill your time with something.
Yeah, I watch other shit.
Come on, man.
I basically just watch Parks and Rec over and over again.
That's we're going through it again.
That's fair.
Parks and Rec and The Office. That's pretty much what I do.
Not an Office guy.
I do need to go through The Office.
I don't need to go through The Office.
I love The Office. It's slow.
It's not as good as Parks and Rec. So
they're 2 different beasts, despite.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not as good a show as Parks and Rec, so I don't need to watch fucking.
I think it's
The Office
better than Parks and Rec, personally. That's just my opinion.
What?
I love Parks and Rec.
How?
But I just like The Office.
You have one fucking funny person on The Office, and that's fucking Steve Carell.
No.
Yeah.
Dwight.
The humor is so fucking dry and dumb in The Office.
That's why I like it.
I like dry humor. That's why I like Ron Swanson so much.
Yeah.
That's not dry humor.
It has a tendency to be.
Come on.
Dude, Nick Offerman is like a super dry comic.
He's playing a game. That's an act.
I love The Office. I just thought it was
I enjoy
so
The
fucking
Office.
funny. And it's easily like in my top 3 favorite shows.
I have tried to watch The Office more than I have tried to watch any other show that's come out in the last 2 decades, and I cannot do it. It is not funny. To me, it's not.
I mean, I was the same way for a while, and then I was like, I'm just gonna keep going and keep going and keep going.
Like, I really like, what the fuck's his name?
John Cranston?
Yeah. John Krasinski is his name.
Krasinski,
Yes.
yeah.
Originally supposed to be Captain America.
fucking-
Originally the second choice for Captain America. But I was like, man, I really like Krasinski. I want to watch this show because I want to support this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't fucking do it. I can't. It's not entertaining to me at all. So, and I'm pretty easily entertained, and it does entertain me.
Saying I just pretty much cycle between those two shows, and then keeping up with shows like This Is Us.
Have you watched American Vandal?
Yes.
Have you seen season 2?
No, they have season 2.
Oh, it just came out.
I gotta say that American Vandal is fantastic.
I'm gonna say this.
No, I didn't draw those dicks.
Same two kids. Same two kids doing the documentary.
Oh,
It's
is it?
obviously still scripted and shit.
Yeah.
Like you get it, but it's just so over the top, but seriously. Like serious and over the top at the same time.
My thing is the first one was so well put together that you actually had no clue who it was until about 2 episodes until the end.
Oh, watch the second season. It's I wouldn't say it's as good because it's definitely by this point you're like, okay, I know this is fake, but I'm gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the second season.
I didn't do the dicks, bro.
The culprit, the person they're after is the turd burglar.
Oh my god. Yeah, American Vandal is fantastic.
Yeah, very well put together. Watch it.
Yeah.
Folks, watch American Vandal season 1 and 2. I remember very early on in Podcastrophe, Nick Max and we talked about the first season of American Vandal. Wow.
You tried to get me to watch it, but I don't have time.
Yeah. If you don't have time, then don't watch it.
Yeah.
By all means, don't watch it. There are much better things to watch. But if you have all the time in the world, please waste your life on this.
That's me.
Please fucking waste your life on it.
What if you don't have a life to waste?
Just kill yourself then, I guess.
Yeah. Self-terminate. Alright, we're starting to get a
I can't
little long.
self-terminate.
Help the population.
It's not part of the
It's part of my
directive.
prime directive.
Yeah.
Beep,
Alright,
beep.
we're starting to run a little long.
Fuck it, let's keep going.
I tried to do that last week, and he shit on me.
Yeah, I need food. How do y'all feel about Taco Bell after this?
I don't care. Let's do mobile podcast. Fuck it, let's go.
Well, I fucks with Taco Bell.
Next week, be sure to tune in for our full review of Venom. Spoiler and all.
I won't be here for that.
Nah, he's not gonna be here for that. It'll probably just be me and Tyler next week.
Sorry, guys.
We're gonna delve deep into Venom. If you tune in on Friday, however, you'll get a special spoiler-free review of Venom.
I won't be here for that.
He won't be here for that. But
I'm
you
the
can
guy that
also
gets the
listen to that
substance.
episode on Journey into Comics next Monday. Because we are hosting Journey into Comics this week / next week. So, Tyler, what's up? What are you doing? What are you doing over there?
Talking to my wife.
That's fair.
What a pussy.
Tell her it's like get Taco Bell.
Well, she made dinner, so I'm trying to convince her that
Dinner's the
I don't
devil.
need to. Well, I'm trying. Yeah.
Okay.
But Mama said dinner's the devil.
So, folks, we're 3 episodes deep into our own feed, you know. If you're watching live, if you're listening on the Journey into Comics network, please head on over to Podcastrophe Podcast on Podbean and subscribe to us because we're not always going to be on the Journey into Comics network feed. So subscribe to us. You'll get the main show every Thursday on Podbean and eventually iTunes and all the other services. But you'll also get all the extra content that we're going to be putting out as soon as we actually start doing that. In the meantime, you can catch us live every Tuesday and other subsequent episodes that we do. But Tuesday is the main show on Facebook Live. Check us out around 5:30 or 6. If you want to check out the other shows on the Journey into Comics network,
My I see what you did there. You went Nate slow. Journey into Comics Network.
You can check out shows like Journey into Comics, Journey into Wrestling, Brews with Dudes, Poor Entertainment, Poor News, Foodies Watching Movies, Adulting Ain't Easy, Gallif Radio, and Kids for Sale. I think I named them all.
Possibly. Did you say Brews with Dudes?
I said
Yes.
Brews with Dudes.
Then I think you said them all.
Tune in to Brews with Dudes, the Facebook page this Saturday. We are going to be at the 450 North Corn Maze Beer Festival, and I might be live streaming from the Podcastrophe page there. I might be live streaming from the Brews with Dudes page there. We're gonna see.
I think in the next couple weeks, Skylar and I are going to do a bonus live stream to talk just about conspiracy theories again.
Awesome.
That'll be
awesome.
that'll be from Doomsday Bunker number 2, meaning my house, from my laptop. So production value will be a lot less, but
Is what it is.
the live stream will be there nonetheless.
It's to help protect his identity. That way the government doesn't get him.
Yes. But remember, I'm a robot controlled by the government, so
I don't think you're controlled by the government.
I am the government.
I think
He's the whole government.
I think you or Google.
That's the government.
I think you or Google become self-aware without realizing. You're
So I'm like
you're Sam Worthington. You're Google if you were Sam Worthington.
You're Osimo from South Park.
so I'm like Watson, but better.
I am Osimo.
You know, the IBM, that's Watson, right?
You're that robot from iRobot that was helping Will Smith.
Which is actually Will Smith.
I think you're Sam Worthington from Terminator Salvation.
I'm okay with that. Sam
Because
Worthington is my mirror image of Tom Hardy.
yeah,
Like,
he's
I love Sam Worthington. He was up here where Tom's at, and then he just fucking fell off the map.
Yeah, now he's in the Unabomber.
Yeah, and what the fuck was that movie called?
He's in a pretty good movie called The Shack.
Yep, I was gonna say The Shack.
That's a pretty good movie.
And he did that fucking Titan movie where he becomes a fucking like super being that I told you about on Netflix that I don't think you ever watched.
I saw that on Netflix. I was like, do I watch this or do I not?
Remember that trailer? We talked about it like 5 months ago. It's a Netflix movie. Like the government experiments on him so they can send people to the moon of Titan.
I want to see it. I need to see it.
Do you even remember what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about now that you started describing it. I was like, yep, I remember this. So I
Yeah, you told me you were going to watch it. We were going to talk about it on the show, and then you never watched it.
You're a big fat phony.
You're a big fat phony.
You're a phony.
Phony.
End this episode.
Yeah.
If you're gonna end it, end it. If not, let's keep talking. I don't care.
Okay, fine, guys. Make every day a big dick day. Jeez. Bye, guys.
So I'm going to abstain from Taco Bell
Cool, I got Matt.
because I don't have any money. That'll give you guys a nice little Taco Bell date. But before you get up from that computer, Blaine, pull up fucking Goodrich Quality Theaters and let's pick a showtime.
Okay, let me end the live stream.
They can be there for that.
I don't want them to be there for that.
Alright.
Bye, live stream. See ya on Friday
I won't.
when we do some stuff there. And definitely see you next Tuesday where we're going to also do some stuff there.
Sorry, I'm not bringing the substance.
Yeah.
Is this a Blue Eyes White Dragon?
It is a Blue Eyes White
That's
Dragon. Alright. Bye.